Hang on, does she? Oh, she has. Hair in my.
What the fuck? The intro looks like it's on acid. Like the Weeping Angel was purple.
That's cool. I like that. Keep it in.
Okay. Fucking Christ, what is this? Oh no! Callum screens in front of the fucking slideshow! Holy shit! Oh no. What a disaster. Oh my god. Okay, that was easily the worst intro we've ever had on this advent calendar so far. It just fucking glitched everywhere. Callum's screen was in front of it. What a disaster. Anyway, welcome to day 19 of the Genesis of Androzani Advent Calendar. As you can see, we are continuing our Star Wars series with Solo, A Star Wars Story, which is a film that came out last year, and neither of the three of us had actually seen before this week. So I think this will be very interesting because we're all going in fresh for this one, of sorts. But before we get into any of that business, patreon.com/Genesis of Androzani if you'd like to get exclusive access, early access, and questing videos for us to do, such as at the end of this advent calendar from days 26 to 31, there'll be early and exclusive access to a whole week of advent calendar videos that the public won't get until they are released week by week in the new year. And also twitter.com/GAndrozani if you'd like to get in contact with us or just see what we're talking about. Because it gets very heated sometimes, but other times it's not. Other times it's great, but you'll have to wait and see by going on Twitter and seeing what the current situation is, don't you? Also, my screen is almost film noir-esque. That's because it's like evening and the sun's just setting. So hopefully that changes soon, but it does look a bit weird. And let me just adjust the side as well, because I do not like when things are inconsistent in my screen, do I? But with that said, I have Callum here for this.
Oh.
Who's, I don't know how many reviews you've been on now, maybe 100?
God, it's like so many.
Feels like 100. Anthony's,
yeah, it does.
Anthony's here as well.
Hello.
Yeah, just the usual slaves, you know. And with all those big pluggity plugs out the way, you know, the electric plugs, the anus plugs, the butt plugs, the pacifiers that babies have, the what other plugs are there? There's plugins as well, and all that jazz.
Plug sockets.
The plugs that you use when you bypass the compressor on the Falcon. Anyway, with that all said, I shall ask the British man himself, Callum, the man who changes his camera position and upsets my OCD, but we can't do anything about it because he is in control. What are your initial thoughts on the film Solo, A Star Wars Story?
Oh, what a just complete waste of time. God, Solo is like the most pointless film I've probably watched in quite a while, to be quite honest. It's not engaging, it's not exciting, it's not worth my time. It's pretty in some aspects, it's got a nice set design, it's competently directed, poorly edited, and only with one character I actually liked, and it's not the one you probably think it is, or maybe you do. But Solo is just a complete film of nonsense. It's just not good. Like, it's just a film. It's such an odd film because it's I feel like Solo, a film with Han Solo, a Han Solo origin story, should be more of a character piece than it is very filled to the brim plotted film. And I think it tries to do that, but it fails like miserably. It's just nonsense. I didn't really care for it when I watched it, and I don't care about it now. So I'm kind of glad I waited till now to watch it, because it's just not good.
Anthony.
So before I watched it, my expectations were so low, like they were in the Marina Trench.
That's Solo.
Yeah, no, but like I think it's the first 30 minutes, I was actually like, damn, this is all right. And then you get to one part of the story, and for me, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I know everything that's going to happen after this. Like it becomes very, very predictable after a certain point, and I feel like once it gets to that point in the film, everything just drops off, which is a shame because I was actually surprised that the start, like I was pretty pleased with the start. I was like, okay, yeah, I see this going somewhere. And then you get to a certain point where it just plops off into the toilet with the rest of the sequel films that we've seen. So yeah, it was kind of one of those situations where I was like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. Oh wait, no, there it is. Yep, just what I expected.
Yeah. So, this film is a dramatic failure on a lot of levels. It's boring. It's dull. The direction is too darkly lit. I couldn't see a fucking thing for half the film. The characters are really... Oh, it's really skewed and obscure, especially the ones from the original trilogy. The story makes no fucking sense. There's like infinite plot twists and they don't make sense. It's also very contrived. So you got elements of the problems of Force Awakens in the sense that everything is a fucking coincidence. You've also got elements of Rogue One and the fact that it's kind of a bit pointless. And you've also got elements of The Last Jedi and that there's too many twists and they make no fucking sense and they undermine the story. It's a hard one to get through. There's so many parts of it that are undermined. There's so many parts that are blunted. It has basically has all the problems that all the Disney films have, and it's just a complete waste of time. It's fucking terrible. It's just really bad. It's full of plot holes. It's just shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Though I suppose I could say I don't have like a burning hatred for it personally, like I do with The Last Jedi or anything, but it is very just fucking nothing and bad. It's just
it's just a terrible film.
Yeah,
it's just poorly made.
Yeah, and yeah, I can't even really think of that much positive to say about it, honestly. It's just extremely shit. And yeah, that's my initial thoughts. It's I don't know. And also it's one of those films that even though I literally watched it 2 hours ago, my memories of it are already slipping. Like it's already being extracted from my brain. It's just escaping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like unnecessary information.
Like I really have to concentrate on my memory to remember certain parts and what they are. It's fucking And like you said, Anthony, it's a predictable film as well because of obviously we've seen the original trilogy, so
yeah. Not even that. Just like certain things that certain characters do, I was just like, oh yeah, I knew this would happen.
No, but be worried, Chewie might die.
Any moment of tension just falls flat. It's just pointless. Are you whispering or you actually can't hear you? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was for a funny.
Let's begin with Han Solo. Callum, you go first.
Oh god, this isn't Han Solo. It's someone else. It doesn't feel like Han Solo. It doesn't act like Han Solo. roughly has same looks as Han Solo. It's just, I didn't feel like this was any character I recognised within the Star Wars universe. I get it's an origin film. I get it's not going to be like completely like he is in the OT, but you got to have rough similarities at the very least. And I don't feel that from him at all. Like, don't get me wrong, the guy's a good actor, but I don't feel like he nailed Han Solo for the majority of the film. The only times I thought he was decent was maybe his scenes with Chewie, because Chewie was probably the only good thing about the film. But I just didn't get anything from it. And plus his whole thing of like the whole don't trust people, don't get too close with people in this line of business. It's just like, we already know that's not true because of the OT. Like, his whole thing was that he didn't trust people, but then he'd like eventually overcome that. But I don't understand the whole thing that is like, they're trying to make a point that everyone betrays him. So that's what he's like in the OT. That's why he's quite a loner. But again, it's Chewie, so I wouldn't fully believe that that's what his mindset is. And just the whole relationship stuff with Daenerys is just
Daenerys.
It's like, yeah, it's just like, I don't. As much as I'm like, Daenerys looked good in this film, I will say that.
Style over substance.
Yeah. It's like, it's just, I never fully bought their relationship. I never really bought the struggle that she felt from him coming back, or them coincidentally fucking.
I hate that scene so much.
Also, did you notice
fucking hell?
Did you notice the really poor editing where she went from saying, "You wouldn't believe what I've done," and then it gets poorly edited to, "You look good, rough around the edges, but good." Like, did you notice that? That was so poorly edited.
Was she like bipolar or something?
Moments. Yeah, I don't know. Just mood switches, just like that. Oh, what's happened? Oh, my screen just went black for a second.
Oh, you're fine. I can see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, my screen just went. Yeah.
Oh well, you've been hacked. You've been hacked by Disney. You've been hacked by Disney.
Yeah, Disney takes no prisoners.
Callum, why the fuck are the dice such an important part of the lore?
I don't know. Were they weren't in the OT at all?
Well, they were a big thing in Last Jedi. So
Yeah,
like,
the Last Jedi.
Oh, take
so
from
why
that
would
film.
they? So why would they be important to Leia? The dice that Han associated with the other girl that he fucked.
I kept thinking about that. I was like, that's really awkward.
Like, I get it's like a thing to remember Han by or something like that, but then you watch this, and it's more associated with Daenerys, so it's like...
I'll just put more piss on Carrie Fisher's grave, right? That's what Disney does.
It's really... I really didn't like that at all. I don't know. I don't get the whole fucking dice thing Disney's trying to push. What, is the whole dice thing going to be in Rise of Skywalker again?
I don't know.
Oh, no,
I don't know.
do that.
Like, fucking
Is it gonna be
Palpatine's going to pull a dice out of his anus and go, "It was me all along! I created Han Solo. He was the junk trader that sold you.
He's your father.
And then Rey goes,
Kylo is your brother.
I can't handle this anymore. I want to have incest with my sister.
It's time to let all things die.
it's time to
The
let
Emperor, the Resistance, the Rebellion.
The laws against
Whatever.
incest
All of
needs
it.
to die. Let's touch
Alright.
fingers.
I want you to kill Palpatine.
It's just like, God. Anyway, yeah, Solo as a character is poor. the performance isn't great, and the character arc I don't like at all because it doesn't fit with the OT. I don't think.
There's no point in this film that I felt like he was in the OT. Like in A New Hope specifically, it was like, why the fuck is he so nice?
Yeah.
He should be an asshole.
He should be an arsehole and should be like, yeah, he should be an arsehole from the start. And his arc should be he lightens up during the film, but then in the end he goes back. Not necessarily back, but he reaffirms.
Yeah, but instead of doing that, they're just like, is he a
Yeah.
good guy or a bad guy? He's both.
Like, he's a badman good.
Yeah, he's a bad man. He's a bad man. But he's good. But he's bad. But he's good. But he's bad.
The fucking whole Beckett stuff. Like when he's like, oh, he's dead. Oh no, but he betrays them. And it's like before he walked
Fuck,
into the
wait
room,
till
I was
we
like,
get to
is it
that final act shit. Oh.
the whole fucking Cassell, whatever what it's called, run.
Remember how
felt
he...
like it should have been the final act.
Oh yeah, but remember how he fucking shoots Beckett and then he's like, I'm so sorry! I'm so sorry!
Yeah, like he betrayed you. He betrayed you, Solo. So why
You
are you sad
shot
for
him! You fucking idiot! You shot him!
Though I will say I'm fine with them doing that. He shot first, but it's a bit different, so it's less impactful.
Oh, I should have said
than
McClunky.
the OT would have been. McClunky.
My
Yeah.
cat's going crazy. Can you
It's-
hear
Oh yeah.
her? Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah. Solo overall poor. Didn't like him. Very shit.
Yeah. Anthony, you got anything to add to this?
So, like, because at the start of the film, you've got Han and Daenerys character, and it's kind of like makes them out as just like these kids, and I was going
They
for
seemed
that.
like the characters were younger than they were. It would have been...
Yeah, well, no, because I like that. I was like, okay, this is like a nice little start. You know, the
think-
movie hasn't started yet,
I think
right?
maybe it would have been
And-
better though. You know how there's a time jump? It would have been better if the prologue of this film was those characters, but as different actors when they were younger. Like, it would make so much more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because then it would...
Well, I liked everything right up until he met her again. Like the heist before that, I was fine with that. I was like, this is okay, this is alright, you know.
No, I had a lot of problems with the heist. I had
Really?
quite a few problems. Yeah, because I like, for example, the whole Chewie nearly dying stuff. I really didn't like. They didn't need to do that. And the two characters die when it's just like to kill people. So they
Yeah.
made it like, oh, anybody can die. It's like it's so like lazy.
I can't even
And plus-
fucking remember the heist. What part of the film is this?
Like
This is
right at
near
the
the
start.
Yeah, but what happens?
He goes on a
woman and the
heist
monkey
with
dies.
Beckett. Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens in it though? I need specifics.
They're trying
They
to
try
steal
to
this fucking train thing.
Train.
They're
And
trying,
they-
to steal, they're trying to steal stuff on the train in the snow.
Oh god,
But-
I was fucking zoned out for all that shit. I was just like, oh, this is just schlock.
Yeah, but so for some reason the woman kills herself, even though the woman blows up the tracks because she's pinned down by two probe droids that are staying in place and not going around the pipes. So she's like, "Well, I'm fucked. I'm going to kill myself for no reason."
Yeah.
It's just like it's really poorly done.
You know, it
And I'm
reminds
just
it
like-
reminds me of First Avenger when Bucky dies, and I'm just like, okay, bye. I don't give a shit about you.
I guess.
In fact,
but
it's even
I-
worse. It's actually worse than that because like we get like minutes of screen time with her.
Oh yeah, it's worse. It's
Yeah.
worse because literally all we get is like, oh, him and Woody Harrelson, they fuck, and so it's like, you should care
God,
about her.
and there was so much like uncomfortable PDA in this film as well. We're in love.
yeah, it's like,
Oh, it was really weird.
yeah, it's just, and plus the monkey alien person dies.
I
Also,
see,
this-
because I liked him. I was fine
you?
with him, and then it's like, oh, he's dead now. I was like, okay, fuck off.
I thought he was fucking
I probably
annoying.
would have.
Yeah, I knew you would. I knew you'd be like, oh,
He's
I
fucking
hate
annoying.
him.
He is. He's annoying.
I thought it
Well,
was
wait,
funny.
what's that
Polo.
fucking line he says to Solo? He's like, you're a... Wait, I can't even remember now.
Good pilot.
Yeah, you're a good pilot. I'm like, fuck off.
He drove forward.
He's like, hey, oh.
All he did was drive.
He's
All
like-
he did was drive forward.
He's like nigh and numb, but not funny.
He also referenced the like bat things from Empire, saying like
The
oh, yeah, you tried
Minox
to-
or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
Minox, yeah.
a
Yeah.
Minox
Minox.
roast dinner. So it's like also this film is filled to the brim with references,
Oh.
and it annoys me so much.
Pointless references as well. But not the right
They-
ones. Because there's references they could have
Yeah.
made, but not the right ones.
Where
They
was
they
where
reference
was
bounty
my,
hunters from Empire. They reference like they just reference a lot of different things, and it's so detracting from the film. Yeah,
where
it
was
annoys me
my?
so much.
You better watch yourself.
Oh, that was in Rogue One.
Oh well, they could have put him in here too.
That probably would have been a bit too far. There have been 2 films.
You know
Oh.
why? You know why K2SO's death was actually great? The only
Because
really good
because
death of
the
that.
Empire wouldn't have actually repaired him, and also the planet blew up. We knew he was dead. But we'll get to the other droid soon. Anyway, just wait a second.
Oh well.
Anthony, go back to your thoughts on Han Solo, because we kind of interrupted you.
Yeah, no. Multiple points through this film, I had to kind of stop and be like, "Wait, right? This is Han's. Okay, this is Han Solo." Because there are many times in this film you just kind of forget, and I'm kind of like, "Oh, this is generic action film," and I check
Yeah.
the title. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is Solo." Oh damn. Okay, I gotta retract myself because It kind of just blends to nothing. You're just like, oh, generic action film. And then Chewie shows up. You go, oh shit, it's Star Wars, right? Sorry, I forgot.
Though I like how Han speaks English and Chewie just doesn't understand it for some reason, and then Solo starts to speak Wookiee, and then
He
Chewbacca
understands.
understands.
Yeah, yeah.
Chewie knows English though.
It's just very odd, isn't it? It's very
Yeah.
strange.
They're like, oh, let's get a little funny joke in there.
Like Yoda spoke English to him in Revenge of the Sith, so like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't Chewie? Why wouldn't Chewie
Meant to be some
understand Solo from
stupid
the
thing of,
get-go?
oh, Chewie does understand English, but because he understands Wookiee, he's like, oh, he speaks my language, I have to be friendly now.
Yes.
And then it's
They-
also like,
I-
okay, so how does Han understand Wookiee?
It's like
just does.
they wanted to do that bit with Thor and Groot in Infinity War, where it's like, oh, it was an elective on Asgard. And it's like, haha, that's funny, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, now this
Whereas
is sad
this is
thinking
just
about
like-
it. This is sad thinking about it. Disney got a better dynamic for me between Ragnarok Thor and Baby Groot than fucking Han Solo and Chewbacca. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?
To be fair, Guardians 2 is a good film.
Oh well, I didn't enjoy it. Don't enjoy Ragnarok either.
Oh well.
True, but I also think that's a good film.
But that's what I mean, though, is that they managed to pull that together, but not this. Like one of the most iconic pairings ever.
It's almost this film is like two films trying to be like muddled together.
It's almost like it's just a piece of shit. Anyway.
It's almost as if they lost the original director.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that was a low blow.
Bit more on that when we review the DCU. Anyway, we'll have to wait for that.
Fucking Schneider cut. Fuck the
It doesn't exist. Fuck off. I hate these people. Like, oh, the static cut.
Like, how much better is it going to be?
It
Of
won't.
Justice League. Justice League is fucking terrible, so how much better can it get?
Have you got much more to say on Han Solo, Anthony? Because I'm sure you do.
I don't know. I get it just. Yeah, like there was many times I was like, wait, this is Han Solo. Because to me, it's just like generic main character, main action character.
This is
Very generic.
ma-
Very like, oh, yep.
one of the massive problems with this is that one of the main reasons people like Han Solo is because it's Harrison Ford.
I see. I'd say that, and I'd go even further and be like, the some of the decisions and things they made him do in this film is very questionable to the character itself.
Well, if you don't mind me cutting in, because I'm bursting with something to say about Han Solo.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is me going out on a limb and saying, Disney, you need to listen up, because fucking Disney are always like, oh, if you criticize Rey for being a Mary Sue, you're a fucking sexist. Well, guess what? We've got a Mary Sue here. Han Solo.
Yep.
A male.
Yeah.
A white fucking male in this film is made to be fucking flawless at everything. We don't know why.
Woody Harrison loves him.
We don't know why he's good with blasters. We don't know why he can fly the Falcon. We don't know why he can do the Kessel Run. We don't know why he can talk Wookiee. It's stupid. They've ruined Han Solo.
No, he was in the Empire.
Yeah.
He was in the Empire.
Yeah, he was in the Empire as well. And guess what? Fucking hell. It's the exact same thing with Rey. And he's a white man. So fuck you, Disney. You are actually bad writers. And we're not sexist. I'm criticizing one of my favorite male characters in film because you ruined him. You made him into a Gary Stew. So, exposed, fucking exposed. Oh, he just does speak Wookiee because he's Han Solo. Oh, he shoots blasters because he's Han Solo. Oh, he can fly. He can win gambling fucking things. He knows that Lando's cheating because he's Han Solo. No explanation. No fucking explanation. He just is.
Somehow he knows he's cheating, but
It's
no
like
one else
if Rey
does.
It's like if Rey was a playboy and didn't have the Force, you know? It's exactly the fucking same thing. Stupid.
I was
so
actually
stupid.
Those poker scenes or whatever fucking game it is. I was kind of like, does everyone know that everyone cheats? And the thing is, if you can't prove it, then it doesn't count.
But everyone can see it.
I know, that's what I like, because I was like, is it a thing where if you're like, oh, he's cheating, you get kicked out? Like, how does it work?
Goodness me, imagine how awesome it would be if Han Solo actually fucking outplayed Lando in a game of poker.
In a game that he's a beginner in. Like, I just was like, I don't. They never explain.
he's
right,
lucky.
if
He
he's
got
actually
lucky.
Lying.
In my experience,
Like,
there's
I
no
don't-
such thing as luck.
It was the Force. That's not how the Force works. Like,
They massacred our
if
boy.
they establish, right? If they said like he was actually lying about being a beginner, so it took Lando to like a false sense of security, and he's actually good at the game. Fine, that'd be better than him just saying he's a fucking beginner and got beginner's luck.
Also, I'm sure we'll get on more onto it when we get to all the other characters, because it's a scene that involves the most of the main characters. But part of that is obviously Han Solo. Oh, actually, fucking before I get to that, holy shit, why the fuck is his name revealed to be Solo? Because some Imperial thought he was like, oh, you're a loner? Let's call you Han Solo. That's how he gets his name.
Who the fuck asks someone when they ask for their surname?
Who are your people?
What kind of fucking bullshit is that?
We didn't even need to
Also-
know this. We didn't need to know where he gets his name from.
Why do you need an origin for his fucking surname when we didn't even think?
You need an
it was
origin
something
for
that
how he's
was
good
given?
at fucking flying the Falcon, shooting blasters, winning poker, and speaking Wookiee, not his fucking surname. Disney, you idiots! Anyway, getting back to what I was actually going to say was, so part of the whole final act mess bullshit, so you think about, like, Solo and his whole thing of, well, I actually knew you were going to say that all along. So was that his plan to be held at gunpoint? I don't think so. I don't think so. That does not sound like something that a smart person would do. It's just a whole mess, isn't it?
Also, why doesn't Lando like ask more for a ship that he was promised by Han?
He's
'Cause the
his
whole thing is
buddy.
Fuck this film.
Anyway, but yeah, there's no Harrison Ford charm. The character is made into, you know, if Rey was Han Solo, and yeah, the plot's terrible. So there's not much more for me to say. Oh yeah,
And
why?
that's why maybe that's why Rey was so drawn to Han Solo, because he's actually deep down a Mary Sue.
Makes so much sense. Also, why
There you
did
go.
Han think it was a good idea to scrape bits of asteroid off the floor with his Falcon to hit the TIE fighters?
Especially when he said that the person he saw did it died. So
Oh, well, he's
why
just
would
lucky.
you think that you would die?
Is
Right,
this
yeah.
film actually? No, I'm having a proper revelation here. Is this film actually trying to suggest that he's a Force user and like everyone can use the Force, even if you're fucking Han Solo?
You just believe hard enough and you can use it.
Yeah, because now
I
it
mean-
just makes
don't count. There's no training. You just believe.
it makes sense now because obviously Disney's like, oh, if everyone can use the Force, then we can justify 1,000 different plot holes because we're like, oh, we can just say it's magic.
Everyone can use the Force, but the thing is, even if that was the case, Han in New Hope doesn't fucking believe in the Force. So what in here in this film makes him not believe
Well,
it?
in the New
if
Hope, he
does?
basically says that it's all luck. He thinks that everything he did in this film was luck.
Oh, so he was like, I got lucky. Fate's on my side.
Yeah, you got fucking 1,000 leaf clover lucky. Threw the Falcon into an asteroid in hope that the asteroid chips would hit the TIE fighters. Like, that's just ridiculous! It's ridiculous! It's so silly. And then it's like,
stupid.
yeah, and also they're just like, oh wow, the Empire just turns up out of nowhere. Fantastic. Oh, but it's because we have to have
For
the
no
Kessel.
reason. For no reason. Like, why did they chase them? Why did they chase them?
Oh well.
Like, isn't it established that anybody goes into where they go, don't they like die instantly? So wouldn't the Empire and TIE fighters think, oh, let's not go in there. They're dead. They were 100% dead. There's no way they're getting out of there.
I do wanna go over this as well. Was that them ripping off Ragnarok again when in Ragnarok they go into the devil's anus? But then in this one it's just like, oh, no one's ever come out of there alive, and he's just like, let's do it anyways.
Oh, is that something they say in Ragnarok?
When
I've seen it
Ragnarok,
a
it's
lot.
like, in Ragnarok, it's like they call that the devil's anus, and like it's a portal or something, light speed shit, and I think they go into it to get from Sakaar to Asgard.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's it's a
Okay.
film about Maori rocks, Anthony. Doesn't matter.
No, but I think it's really funny how like it's actually pretty closely connected to Solo, almost as if they looked at Ragnarok and went, that worked.
We also own this property. Wow, we are allowed to steal it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't have anything else to say about Han Solo other than what a fucking colossal failure. So, should we move on?
I like how he's given his iconic gun by just being tossed it by
Oh!
someone who didn't want it.
Oh! It's all just coincidental.
So you fucking go.
No fucking significance.
Plenty.
No significance. Nothing.
I like how also his spine gets broken in half when he's fighting Chewie, but he survives.
Yeah, but you remember how Finn's spine got sliced in half by Kylo Ren, but he's fine.
Oh yeah, Finn.
Injuries
yeah,
are nothing in
spines-
this universe.
Spines in the Star Wars universe are actually like covered in titanium or it's covered
Vibranium.
in whatever vibranium. That's what I was thinking.
Vibranium.
Vibranium! Oh, don't remind me of him, you make me think of Snoke.
Oh, well.
Also, wouldn't this be like, wouldn't having these prequels be like a great opportunity to like explain why Snoke exists? Oh, but no, we won't do that. Because that would require effort.
Snoke was Woody Harrelson.
Snoke was Woody Harrelson's wife, like Bucky.
Yes.
Oh,
No, it's the monkey.
yeah, it's the monkey.
Oh, right.
Because he lost his arms.
Ooh, Kylo Ren.
Funny joke, Minox reference.
Yeah. So fuck Han Solo. Move on to the next character, shall we? I just did a Yoda. Okay, we have Tobias Beckett, who's played by Woody Harrelson, who's a weird choice for this film, but he was in it. For me, the biggest issue I have with this character is like the whole end plot with like the million bazillion plot twist. It's so weird. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I had your hands behind your back all along. We were just pretending. Oh, wait, no, I don't. I'm here to save you. No, I'm not. I'm here to steal this explosve. Don't shoot me. Oh, I'm dead.
You were like a son to me.
It's like fucking, oh, it's all over the
You
place.
just met him. You met him like a day ago.
Ugh. And like, it's a character
Good with the Empire. for
you're
3
meant to feel
years.
sympathy for because his wife was, died, and then he's evil. Oh no, he's not. No, yes he is. Wait, no, he's not. Oh no, he is actually. Oh wait, no, hang on, he's not. No, he isn't.
Oh, now he's dead. So it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
Like the whole he betrays Han. Just before he walks in the door, I'm like, it's Beckett, isn't it? And it was. It's like.
See, I
it's
called
not even a
that.
good twist.
I called that when he's like, "Oh, I've got some business on Tatooine with the Hutts." I was like, "Yeah, he's gonna fucking show up in the third act, isn't he? He's
No,
gonna
I,
come
I,
back."
I thought that was just say that's where Han ends up at the end of the film. But then when they reveal the whole twist thing, so it's like, oh, is he gonna come back and betray Han? And he does. So I'm just like, okay, I didn't care about the character at all, and I'm just like, oh well, now you're a stupid plot twist.
Oh well, he was in
I th-
Zombieland.
I think it's really funny too how like at the start of the film he's like, "Oh, you can't trust anyone," and then at the end he's like, "I told you, you can't trust anyone." It's like,
that
oh,
makes
just
me
shut up.
right. That makes me right. If I keep telling you that you shouldn't trust any people, and including me, don't trust me either. But no, I thought of you as a son.
What a weird character.
Like, I didn't care about the character at all. At all. He was just there.
Yeah.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Man, this is almost on in-your-face themes as fucking Last Jedi.
Oh, it is. It is. It's very
It's like,
weird.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Don't trust anyone, or you get fucked.
What else can we say about him?
He's good with guns. He spins them. He spins them around.
Oh yeah. I don't know, lots of his scenes were like, obviously the snow stuff was fine, but most of his scenes in like the first act I couldn't even fucking see because of how dark it was. It was just like, what's going on here?
Oh, like in the war trenches.
Yeah, I
and
was like,
shit.
this is so fucking dark and dull and grey, and it's like, ugh.
It had like the Night King, the
Yeah.
Long Night vibes.
Yeah. Ugh.
Which also had Daenerys in it as well. So that's
Oh, well, there you go.
great.
Is there a theme there?
Yeah, well, we had that with Dark Phoenix with Sophie Turner.
Hmm.
Ugh. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know.
I've got nothing to say about Woody Harrelson's
He's
character.
also,
Other than that, it was
I would say, as an
poor
actor,
performance
as
and
an actor, he's a very weird choice for Star Wars. He just doesn't seem like the kind of actor that should be in this franchise.
No.
He's just really. He doesn't come across as the kind of actor that should be in anything that's remotely like futuristic or alien.
I will say though, he did promise us carnage, and we certainly got it.
Oh yeah, well there you go. Fucking Avi Arad coming back to run Star Wars.
Can you imagine that if they're like, "Oh, we got rid of Ryan Johnson, but we brought in Avi Arad."
Let's put
To
Venom
direct.
in a Star Wars film.
Oh no.
Hello, Solo. How does that Wookiee taste?
You gonna cry?
Gonna cry? Look at little Solo Junior. Gonna cry?
Oh dear.
No, but then they'd be like, "Oh, crying's okay," because it's Disney.
I'm blank. Blank on Woody Harrelson's weird character. I'm stuck.
Shit.
It's bad.
Shit.
I
Just
find
not
it
good.
funny as well. This is kind of going off of another character. I find it funny how afraid he is of Dryden Voss. And then, like, in the end, he's just like, "Oh, I'm going to take these by." It's like, hang on.
That whole fucking end act. Oh, it did my head in. It's so weird. There's like 7 plot twists and none of them make
Dude,
sense.
it's like one of those. shitty like Bollywood films with all the million twists and shitty CGI.
Oh,
and you're
brother,
like,
you
what
had
the
your
fuck?
expectations subverted.
Yeah, it's like what? What's going on? He just
I was
walked
in-
out of a car crash. Like,
Did they were they really stressed about how to finish the film, so they brought in Ryan Johnson to cameo as a writer?
oh god.
Did you have something to say, Callum?
Yeah. I was annoyed by how little screen time Paul Bettany got. So he was just like crazy mad villain. He was just like, I get mad when people don't do good things for me. My face goes all red,
Well,
but
before
with lines.
before we get to him, we have to discuss the Mad Queen herself, but not the one you're thinking of.
No.
That'd be Kira, which is spelled Qi''RA, which is very strange. Who was played by Amelia Clark, and
Because this movie's kind of like, hey, we got this actress.
Yeah.
We got a AAA actress. Look, guys, she was in Game of Thrones.
And she was awful. Though I will say, she looked damn good. I will say that. Her costumes were
that
great.
comes part and parcel with her, though. That's not. That's nothing special, you know. It's just. I mean, it's like fucking. There's plenty of Marvel films who've said that about actresses. We're like, oh, they're good looking, but the character's shit. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's all style over
Yeah.
substance, you know.
Yeah, it's just like the performance was terrible. Like when she threw a grenade, she just yelled, and I burst out laughing.
Her
Like that.
whenever she's got like whenever she's melodramatic, it's always terrible.
Where are my dragons?
Where are my dragons?
Because yelling means you're a good
I
actor.
want to be the queen.
Let it be fair. You look good.
They
deserve to
die.
Be good.
Yeah, ugh.
I like how she just gets no character arc really. It's all just,
You don't know what I've done, Solo.
and that's it.
That made me super mad because, like I said before, I really liked the start of the film with her and Solo, and then it goes
Yeah.
nowhere ultimately, and it's
Yeah.
like,
All they do is sort of dance around each other and then snog a few times, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm with you," and then she.
Have I
runs
interrupted
away.
something? Yeehaw!
and then it's like, hey, remember when Star Wars was good? Here's Darth Maul. Oh,
We'll get to him later.
oh, he got his own little.
He's got his own little thing because I want to
Oh.
save my little thoughts on that. But anyway,
Yeah.
talking about Kira, she at the end she's also got her own little twist in the third act where she busts out her special karate moves that we didn't know she had, and she
Yes, because being a scrapper on a planet, 3 years later, you then turn into a top lieutenant assassin. Because that's how that works.
yeah.
I
It's
also
easy.
despise they did a Last Jedi on us because Dryden Voss is like, you really think she's been with me for years? You really think she's gonna not kill you? And then she kills him. That end.
Oh wow! He got betrayed by
It was a
Kira. What
shit
a
lord.
surprise.
Shit has been extinct for millennia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I first saw like the trailer and the posters for this film, I was always like, yeah, everyone's gonna hate her because she's not Princess Leia. This is kind of inevitable, really. And
Like I get it. Like we get it. Han Solo probably got with other women before Leia. Every person gets with people before they set on someone. but like they made it seem like that she was so important to Han's life.
And also, it seemed to be like all of her character moments just sort of suggested, oh, there's going to be another film with her in it, and she's going to be evil. But I don't think anyone would want to see that because no one gives a shit.
No, don't.
I find it really funny as well with Disney because they're like, with these films, these past ones, they've kind of been like, here's the new shit, and here's Rogue One before the first fucking movie, and then here's some new shit, and then here's Solo right before the first movie. It's like, dude, pick one, stick to it, please. Don't try set shit up everywhere because you can't do that. There's shit that's already solidified, right? Yeah. So you can't stray from that. So don't.
So also another thing, I'm trying to figure out in my head, because was the dice put in The Last Jedi to give the dice importance in this film, or do you think maybe originally this film was going to come first, which would give the dice in The Last Jedi some significance? I don't know.
Apparently this film came out late, I think. I don't know the relevance to that, respectfully, for the dice.
I think it was all because of the director stuff. That's probably why it was really delayed. But yeah, I don't know if the dice were implemented into this film to give the dice the Last Jedi meaning. I don't know. It's still shit.
It's weird. It's almost like the fucking it's like the little thing that Anakin gives Padme in the Phantom Menace, but it doesn't really have any meaning because at least that's like a symbolism of their sort of shitty romance, whereas this one,
because he's a fucking shitty kid on a slave on a planet. So you're like, yeah, that's a believable gift.
I made
kid,
this for
you know?
you. Whereas,
you're like, a kid would make that.
Yeah.
It's
whereas
believable.
with this one, when you see Princess Leia holding it in The Last Jedi, it's like, yeah, those dice mean someone else that Han Solo fucked before you.
Yeah. No, well, when The Last Jedi came out, I was like, what are those? What is she holding? I don't get it. And then you were like, those were on the Falcon. I was like, I've never seen those before. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just a random little thing. I mean, this is what Disney does. They take the smallest little tiny thing from the original trilogy and turn it into an entire film.
Yeah.
I made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. Oh, that's in a 2-hour film. 2 hours. Then you get Rogue One, which is 2 hours based on the A New Hope title crawl. Anyway,
you're not wrong.
I don't really care to talk about Kira. I just don't give a shit. It's hard to discuss.
Dude, a lot of these characters are like that. It's just kind of like, what's the point?
It's such a chore to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'll repeat what Callum said about Amelia Clarke and how she's like screaming and before she throws grenades. It's so weird.
Because that makes grenades explode more.
Yeah.
Just scream. Always works. That's what Rey did in The Last Jedi, and that's how she won.
Yeah. I think Anthony, you were discussing with me recently about how you don't think that Margot Robbie's a good actress and you think she's only in Hollywood for her looks. I think there's something similar to be said about Amelia Clarke because she's just
there could be, but I think I'm starting to think so now, but because of Game of Thrones, because I never really got into Game of Thrones, and now that what's happened has happened with that show, I probably never will. But everyone really liked her in the first couple seasons, so I was kind of like, maybe she is a good actress.
Well, because Daenerys in the first 4 seasons is actually a good character because it's based on the books.
I mean, female mums loved her.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they?
But I mean, she's a good character in the first 4 seasons because it's based off George R. R. Martin, and but even in that, there's still scenes where her acting is really bad.
Yeah.
It's just she's just so extreme in every way. Like all of her acting is so melodramatic, you know? I saved the people. I saved the slaves. It's like fucking calm down. Just calm down. There is one really good scene with her though. It's in season 4, but I can't say what it is. But yeah, it's rare. It's rare to get a good acting scene from her. It's usually when she's quiet, and not just fucking screaming everywhere. Where are my dragons? Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from her because I'm sick of talking about it. Oh no, now we have Lando.
Oh well.
He fucks a droid.
No. I want to clear this up, okay? Because I really do want to clear this up. Okay, so when this movie came out, and I didn't go and watch it, but I read shit, and a lot of the complaints was like, why does Lando fuck a robot? How does that work? Does that work? That doesn't work. For sure it doesn't. So me, my small lizard brain, I was like, oh, there must be like dialogue between him and a droid character that would imply this, correct? No. There's like one scene with the droid talking to another character saying, oh, he wants to he likes me. He wants to fuck me. But it doesn't work because I'm a droid. And it's like, I was like, oh, okay, this is that issue.
There's more stuff than that.
Is
Like,
there?
for example, she says like, I need you to do that thing later. And he's just sort of like, yeah. It's referencing that, oh, you got to do that sexual move to me, Leia.
Okay.
So there's more than just that.
You also got the fact when the fucking droid dies, he's crying over it, even though you can fucking repair a droid, like we saw in Empire with C-3PO.
Her death, the droid's death is so fucking funny.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
How he
too.
tries to pick her up and she rips in half.
I laughed at that. That was actually really fun. I was like, Jesus Christ. That's horrible, but it's really funny.
Yeah, but we'll get onto the droid later because I got more to
It's
say.
hilarious because she's a
but
fucking horrible character.
I think, again, they picked Donald Glover because they're like, oh, he's like a...
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor, but he's also black. Who else is black? Lando Calrissian is. We should get him in. Because I hate his accent, because he doesn't do it right. You can hear, like, the Donald Glover regular voice, and you can hear that this is a very fake accent.
The only thing he gets right is Han.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he said the thing that he said in the other movie.
Yeah,
In the
reference.
good movie.
Yeah. But
We gotta give Han more time.
I was just like, ugh, no.
Now, again, similar, like with Lando, one of the best things about Lando is that it's played by Billy D. Williams, and this guy, Donald Glover's a good actor, but it's just not Billy D. Williams. He's just, it's not right. I mean, I suppose there's some parts of the character that resemble parts of Lando, but it's just so weird. It doesn't. I'm not sold on them being friends, like Han Solo and Lando Calrissian. They just feel like, oh, yep, we have to have him in the film because the Falcon.
Especially after like the events of this movie, you're like, they're not friends.
No.
Lando says that he hates Solo.
Yeah, they're like, dude, he fucking hates him.
But then
And then
he
he comes back and he's like, I'm taking your ship, thanks, cunt, bye.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was like,
subvert
man,
your
you must
expectations. Solo's
fucking
like,
hate
hey,
this
we've got a
guy."
bunch of 30 fucking army people in this shit that's gonna come attack you, and then the Falcon flies away. It's like, oh.
funny.
And it's one of
That's
the,
for the laughs.
it's one of the 5 times in this film that they're like, oh, Solo's gonna die. No, he's not, because you've seen the original trilogy. Like, what? No tension. No tension. It's just a stupid joke.
I feel like a lot of this film, it's very, like, you know where it's going to go, but the director's like, what's the laziest way we can get there? What is the way that we can get there and we don't have to do like any hard work?
They gamble for the Falcon. Lando beats him the first time, but he's cheating. Lando loses.
Because he's cheating. Don't cheat. That's the moral. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, what a disappointment, eh?
I
can see why Adam hates this film as well, because Lando's his favorite Star Wars character.
Ah, well, they actually really. I didn't like Donald Glover's Lando. It just felt super fake to me.
Yeah.
And because I've seen Donald Glover and other shit.
He's in Spider-Man.
Well, he had a small as role. Hang on, I want to look up. I watched. I think it was on Netflix. It's like his like brother is a rapper or something, and basically he becomes his manager. It's a real good series, but like in that he's good. I don't know. I've seen him in stuff where he's really really good, and this was not one of them. That's what I'm trying to
miscast.
Yeah.
Ugh. And he fucks a robot. That's ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh no.
Why? How and why? Why would they do that? How could you do it?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next character, which is Val, because there's not much we can say about her. She's in it for a few minutes. She has a big fucking snog with Woody Harrelson. Yeehaw! And then she dies, and you're supposed to feel sorry for him, but then you're not, because he's evil. But then you don't, because he's not evil, but then he is evil. But then he's like, well, the moral of the story is wear your cowboy hat like you mean it, Solo. Some fucking bullshit like that. Yeah, Val, nothing, I would say. Absolutely nothing. What would you say?
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. There's like nothing to it actually. It's just love interest for this character. Oh, now she's dead. This character has a little bit of advancements. Oh no, he doesn't.
But hey, we're being
he's
progressive.
bad.
We're being progressive. We have a colored actress in this film. 10 out of 10.
She dies.
10 out of 10. Wouldn't it be better if she was actually, a main part of the film and not completely wasted?
How about she did some cool shit?
Yeah. Apart from just randomly committing suicide.
It's best for the team.
Callum, have you got anything to say about Val?
She's dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Very accurate.
Yeah, alright. Which means we now have to move on to the next character, which, I'm going to get proper fucking... proper... This is weird, this one.
Proper angry.
This is, yes, proper angry. This is L337, which is the Kathleen Kennedy character of this film.
Oh no.
Fighting for droid rights for all. SJW droid, and she fucks Lando, and she's a droid, and now she's actually part of the Falcon in all the films. What a fucking disaster of a character. Like, I can't think of one thing about this character that I think's positive. Maybe the design. The design's kind of alright, but fuck, it's so weird. It's like, I was talking before in the Rogue One review about how I thought that K2SO is a character that in all ways should have failed, but actually works. Whereas this is like what happens when that character actually does fail. Yeah, this is like, if... This is actually, I was going to say this is like if Admiral Holdo was a droid, but this is worse than Admiral Holdo, because...
Yeah, I'd argue it's
This
a
is
lot
worse, because it's like, what the fuck? Lando fucks a droid. Like, what? What is going on here?
How does she have an oil hole or what? I'm very confused.
I
on
don't
this.
know. I don't care. It's weird. And then she dies, and it's hilarious. And Lando's
It's
like,
pretty funny.
You're dying! And then she picks her up and she rips in half. And then he takes her inside. He's like harnessed to fly the ship while he mourns over his dead droid, even though he can fucking repair her because she's a droid. And then they're like, no, let's plug her into the Falcon. Do you reckon that's what fucked up the Falcon for so long? Because she was plugged in and then Rey pulled her out and she's like, I bypassed the compressor. Ugh. Anyway, Callum, you give your thoughts on this L337.
What a stupid character. Fucking stupid. The whole fucking droid's right thing. They're all sentient, even though they're not. They don't serve our kind here. You realise there's a droid bartender.
You played yourself.
They're like trying
Oh,
to turn them into Cybermen or something. It's like, no, they're not fucking Cybermen. They're droids.
Yeah, so she's just a dumb character, and her death is funny because she is fucking stupid.
Is that whole thing
Point-
where she, like, when they're on the battlefield, she's like, droid right, puts her arm up. It's so fucking funny.
And
No,
it's
because
fucking
after that she gets destroyed. It's like
Oh.
fuck you for even saying that.
Oh, and also she's been in the Falcon this whole time.
Yep.
So this was the character I had heard so much about online, and I was like, okay. But with the start of the movie, I was like, maybe this character wasn't so bad. Maybe it's just people implying it.
Yeah,
maybe
'cause-
it's implied. It's not like directly. But as soon as she came on screen, and because her like walk animation is very unsettling, and I was like, oh no, not good. Don't do that. And then like just all the little like the PC shit. It's like droid rights, leave us alone. It's like shut up.
Ruins
Nobody
droids.
gives a be quiet. Nobody cares about your fucking shitty character. And yeah, like you've said, like when she died, I actually like almost fell in my chair laughing. It was really funny.
There's
I was like,
absolutely,
whoa, all right,
this
good.
absolutely has to be a Kathleen Kennedy character. Like, it smells of Kathleen all over it. It's so weird.
It's also a shame because this movie, before her appearance, didn't seem to have like a political standpoint. But then it's like, droid rights. And I was like, well, there it is. There's Disney Star Wars. There it is. I see it. I see it right there. In that character.
What a disaster. Never think of Lando the same now. Never think of the Falcon the same either. She's the
it's just-
fucking Falcon.
There's just one more film to go. Don't worry about it. They'll probably destroy the Falcon, like he did with the Star Trek ship. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember that he destroyed it in the trailer, and everyone went,
They're
"Whoa!"
gonna have fucking old man Lando fly the Falcon and fuck the Falcon.
Just like old times, eh?
You know when he's laughing in the trailer? That's because he's fucking the Falcon. That's why. He's like, oh, my wife.
And then they'll have a joke where Ray goes, "Oh, you can keep it."
Yeah, you know what's funny? Because when I first heard about this film and Lando, they're like, "Oh, Lando's bisexual." Now I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I watched the film, like, oh no, when they say that, they don't mean like he likes guys and girls. Like, he likes robots. Like, what the fuck? It's just weird. It's so weird. Oh, God. People are going to probably come at us and be like, oh, you're homophobic. No, I'm not. I just don't understand why they thought this was a good idea. It's so weird.
It's like, would you fuck a blender? Does your blender look sexy to you? If so, you may be Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, who's meant
Also,
to be like one of the coolest characters ever. And
Also, don't stick your dick in that. It's really dangerous.
Yeah, one of the coolest characters ever, and he fucks his droid.
Star Wars: A Solo Story.
Nice. Should we move on from this droid?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Where are you taking this thing? Anyway, Chewbacca.
To the garbage.
So, I have mixed feelings on this because I like Chewbacca's sort of, you know how he is, the like he always is. It's the typical Chewbacca stuff. But at the same time, when you think about like the actual plot surrounding Chewbacca, it's really like weird. Like the whole scene of him, being imprisoned by the Empire, and then they just conveniently, Han's like, I know Wookiee. Oh, great. And then they knock down that pole and the two stormtroopers die, even though Han fucking fell that same distance and survived. Oh, plot armor. Then you got the whole thing of where his nickname comes from. Oh, Han Solo thinks that Chewbacca is too long. Okay.
Chewie.
It's one syllable longer.
Yeah.
What are you, lazy?
And then, like, in the latter half of the film, he's basically pushed to the wayside.
I found when they're in the mines, and there's like there are other Wookiees there. I was like, oh, cool. He's actually gonna go off and do his own shit, and I'm all for it. And then he's like, no, I'll stay with Han. I was like, what reason?
Yeah.
Why?
Doesn't feel justified. The only reason it happens is because it has to
reason at all.
happen. Because it has to happen for the story to
Yeah, I
make
know,
sense.
and that did not benefit at all.
Yeah, shouldn't there
Wasn't
be like
believable. It was like,
shouldn't this
hang
be?
on.
This should be a fucking amazing story of Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando all meeting each other. Like that sounds like on paper like a brilliant idea, and like it should have a lot of focus on these characters. But then this film exists, and it's just like Han Solo meets Chewbacca because it has to happen. Han meets Lando because he has to get the Falcon.
Coincidence.
And then everything else wrapped around it.
Like, Chewie is the only character I actually cared about in this film, because I felt like, for example, the whole him with the Wookiee stuff, I actually thought was good for a way to understand what Chewie is like. You know, you get a little bit more emotionally invested in him. But it's like so little samples. So it's like, of course, Chewie's going to be the one character I actually care about, because there are only some instances where he's like fleshed out a bit, and it's just like I wish that was through the entire film and not in just 10 seconds within a couple scenes.
Anything else we want to say?
Well, thank God he didn't eat Han Solo.
Didn't need any porgs
Otherwise,
either.
yeah, like that meeting causes the Death Star to blow up.
Yeah. Because Han knows Wookiee, and we don't know why.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, this is a film that not only suffers for what it has in its film, but also what it doesn't have, what it's missing. So much potential, but nope, it's just shit. Shall we move on to the next character?
Alright, Vante, do you have anything to say on Chewie?
No.
It's really sad, though, because you're usually very enthusiastic to talk about Chewbacca, eh, Anthony?
Yeah, I like. I mean, like Callum said, there are very few. There's a couple moments, but they're pretty few, far between, which is a shame. Because I feel like these Star Wars movies, they have these little boxes to tick, right? And it's like droid humor, yep. A little bit of humor with Chewbacca, yep. You know, at least one lightsaber, yes. Whereas this film's like,
wow.
Yeah, well, you know, you can get technical with that one.
Darth Maul turns on his lightsaber and then turns it off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if there's a lightsaber in this film or not. I just want the writing to be good.
Yeah. So, like, with this, it's like the droids, nah, they're shit. Forget about them. Chewbacca, well, you got a couple little instances, but he's not really a main character, so, you know, forget about him. Doesn't matter. And then the lightsaber, it's like, I have a lightsaber. I
He's
turn
also
it
just
on.
very good at piloting.
I sit down. I turn my lightsaber off.
Yeah. Is Chewbacca a Gary Stew as well, Callum?
In a sense, because he also can just fly the Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Despite and apparently he's 190 years old. We found that out.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all the main characters, right? Because I need to go for a little bit.
Oh, how long do you need to go for?
Probably half an hour to 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to be quick as I can.
It's not all the main characters, but we'll come back to you if you want.
I've got through the bulk of who I wanted to talk about. Anyway,
Okay,
so
okay.
that's good.
We'll jump forward to the trivia for half an hour.
Yep, no worries. Be back soon.
All right, then. Oh, God, the screen's fucked. It always happens.
Bye-bye. Sit up.
All right, we're going to reset the screen. So yeah, whilst Callum is away doing whatever he does, he's been doing this regularly now. He's just fucking off, isn't he? He loves doing that, doesn't he? Busy
I think
man.
he's got shit to do.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, it's solo. I don't need to stick around. Whilst he is gone, we shall discuss the trivia. I think that's a good idea. Because that's like one of the parts of the thing. And then when he comes back, he can sort of just go over some of the important things that he needs to know. Which I'm sure won't be that much because it's fucking solo. But it's just going to take me a little bit to just get this fucking thing set up because it's taking a while. I'm messing up the screen. This is horrible for anyone watching, especially. Oh dear. What a disaster. What a disaster. That's what I think of this film. But have you got anything else to add on to Chewbacca before I get to the trivia?
No, unfortunately not. It's I don't know. There's, like I said, there are very few instances where you're like, haha, yes, good, I like that. And then like in the second act, they're just like, put him in the back. It doesn't matter.
Just put him in the bin, more like.
Yeah.
Let's start some trivias. Harrison Ford revealed that he's seen the movie and thinks it's phenomenal, but skipped out on the premiere with the rest of the cast because he didn't want to steal Alden Ehrenreich's moment of glory. Very interesting. Says he thinks the film's phenomenal but didn't want to watch it on the premiere. It's almost like he's paid to do stuff, isn't he? But we don't know that for sure. We can't prove it. The golden fertility idol from the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark is on the table in Dryden Voss's meeting room. Harrison Ford, who originally played Han Solo, also played Indiana Jones. Director Ron Howard confirmed this Easter egg on Twitter.
But it's not Harrison Ford in this film.
Underwater explosions shot at 120,000 frames per second were used as an inspiration for the Coxium explosion on Vandor.
Wait, it explodes?
Apparently.
Vandor. Oh, that's on the train thing. Yep, cool.
Oh, you notice that Tobias Beckett wore like the skiff guard, not skiff guard, the Jabba's palace guard like helmet?
Yeah.
That was weird. Ron Howard said that one of the best experiences on this movie was directing Chewbacca and getting a hug from him.
Yeah. I mean, I've met people with those Wookiee suits. They're pretty soft.
This is the first Star Wars film that mentions neither the Jedi or the Jedi Knights.
Does it suffer because of that? Yes. And no, because it's not just that, but it still suffers.
Well, I would have absolutely been fine with a non-Jedi film if it was good.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have been my favorite, but I still would have liked it if it was good. Like, imagine, like, Rogue One minus Darth Vader, it would still be a decent film. Wouldn't have that, like, cherry on the top, but it would still be okay.
It'd still be, alright, yeah.
Yeah. When Luke and Obi-Wan meet Han Solo in A New Hope, Han boasts about the Millennium Falcon's speed by claiming that the ship made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. People quickly pointed out that a parsec is a measure of distance, not time. 1 parsec is about 3 light years, or not over 19 trillion miles. Star Wars printed materials explaining that a Kessel Run is a route of a fixed distance, but Han found a shortcut that limited his flight to about 12.5 parsecs. Force Awakens also references the Kessel Run. In this movie, the Kessel Run is normally 20 parsecs long, and runs along a series of corridors through a nebula. Han traversed the nebula itself, risking debris, very large creatures, and phenomenon called as the Maw, making it to the other end in just under 13 parsecs, which he rounded down to 12. Lando says it's impossible to make the run in less than 20 parsecs, so it's still quite a feat.
So the Maw, that does nothing, right?
Yeah, it's just a big kraken in space, and then it gets
It's
sucked.
just like, whoa, look, it's dead.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, thanks for that.
Really awesome idea. Like a kraken in space sounds like a great idea, but it's just,
Because that was in the trailer, and I was like, oh, that looks okay. And then I watched it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, they fucked it. Of course they did. What did you expect?
Yuna Suyatamu, I think his name is, wrote a heartfelt letter to Peter Mayhew saying he was doing his role not just for the Star Wars fans, but for Mayhew himself. That was nice.
That is nice. I found out later that
Sorry, say
Peter
that again. I
Mayhew?
can't hear you.
I found out later on that in The Force Awakens it was not Peter Mayhew, and I was very sad. And then I found out Peter Mayhew passed away, and I was even sadder. So it's nice to hear that the new guy is not a complete cunt.
Dryden Voss's facial stripes were added in post-production. According to Paul Bettany, he didn't know about it until he saw a photo Ron Howard sent to him.
Yeah, you can tell.
It's like how they edited out Mickey Rourke's tattoos or something, or they edited them in. I can't remember.
In what? What are you talking about?
Iron Man 2.
Ah, I don't know. I don't care about that movie.
But it made you angry when I put it above Black Panther.
I did, yeah, because I don't even remember it.
I mean, I don't particularly like Iron Man 2 that much, so I'm not going to really defend it either. Dryden Voss's original concept art portrayed him as a dinosaur bird-like figure with the development of a love triangle between him, Han, and Kira. There was a bit of that, wasn't there? It was very weird. His design became more humanoid, majestic, and handsome in order to invoke the more jealousy from Han.
See, I didn't get any of that.
The only sexual
Like
tension
the
there
jealousy, I was like, there's no jealousy.
The only
I don't
sexual
give a
tension
shit.
there was is that, like, Kira would touch his shoulder or something.
Yeah, but even then, I was kind of like, oh, she's doing it to make it seem like she won't turn on him later, because she will. And surprise, she does.
Ugh. Han Solo was originally going to appear during the Battle of Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith, in which an orphaned 10-year-old Han, who was being raised by Chewbacca, helps Obi-Wan Kenobi to locate and find General Grievous by finding part of a transmitter droid that was sending signals from Utapau. Honestly, that probably would have been better than what we got here.
Yeah.
Like Han Solo in Revenge of the Sith, like you're just thinking to yourself, could you make that film more fun? You just add a Han Solo into it. It's like, wow. It would actually also give more reason for why the Kashyyyk plot is in the film, because it is technically filler. It's great fun to watch, but it is technically filler. If it had Han Solo in it, it's like, ooh, importance. And a scene between Yoda and Han Solo as well, like that would be really unique.
Well, because you would have got a shitty George dialogue where it's like, the Force, that sounds like garbage.
Much to learn you have, young Solo. Anyway. Woody Harrelson was picked over Christian Bale.
Fuck, yeah. That's, yeah. I don't know, because Christian Bale is an interesting actor. Like, he's very method. I don't know if that's the correct
Yeah, he is,
term for
definitely.
it.
He's very dynamic as well. He's got a large range.
And I feel like Alden Ehrenreich probably is not. So, like, I would have loved to hear stories about Christian Bale yelling at this kid.
Yeah. Alden Ehrenreich was the first actor to audition for directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, because they were the original directors. The director said in July 2016 that while they liked a lot of the other actors with whom they read, they increasingly said the first guy we saw was the best for the part. But let's not forget that originally this was a very different film. Because Phil Lord and Christopher Miller were making this like a comedy, basically. Because Disney were like, oh, we want you to add like a small bit of comedic touch to make this film charming. But then they just made it like a full-blown comedy film. And then Disney's like, oh, no, we don't want that. You're fired.
Yeah.
And then they brought
make
up
it
Ron
more
Howard and they
family.
reshot 70% of the film.
Yeah, if your film has reshoots, it's fucked. Like, no exception. Looking at you, Rise of Skywalker.
Director Ron Howard was reportedly considered to direct The Phantom Menace, but declined the offer, calling the task too daunting.
That's both like a blessing, but I also understand why he's like, nope, don't want to do that. And it's a blessing in that we have all the memes that we do
Yeah.
because of good old George, who's just like, put Jar Jar in there, it'll be funny.
Put a farting camel in there for no reason other than be like,
Jesus
hey, there's
Christ.
a farting camel.
Don't bring that back. Don't remind me.
Now this is pod racing. Lando Calrissian says to Han Solo, I hate you, and Han replies, I know.
Okay. Why? Why? Why would you do that?
Can you entertain the audience with your anger for a couple of minutes whilst I sort some things out?
With the cat.
No, not with a cat. I won't be as long. I won't be that long. Just do it.
Oh, just feed the cat. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't need to feed the cat. The cat's fine.
Go feed the cat.
I don't need to feed the cat.
Go feed the cat. Do whatever you gotta do. You're now listening to the Anthony Power Hour. It's not an hour though. Probably a couple minutes. How are you guys doing? Are you good? Did you drink water today? You should go and fill it. Go get a bottle of water. Go get a glass of water. It's just me here. I'm here to relax you. My soothing voice is relaxing you while you drink that cold glass of water. Very good for you. Hydration is important. So don't be dehydrated. Stay hydrated. Otherwise, you'll get a headache and you'll get really hot, and that's never fun. Unless, of course, you're in a concert. Because, I don't know, you might be on drugs or something. And that's the idea of doing drugs at a concert, I think. I wouldn't know. Have you called your mum recently? Call her. Tell her you love her. Just, you never know, you know? Tell that person that you like what they're wearing today. It could change someone's life. If you have a pet at home, have you fed your pet? Go and give them a pat. Keep this video running, cause it's just me. I'm just here. I'm chilling, you know. Did you pat your pet? I hope you did. I hope they're happy now. And I hope you are too. We're back.
No, we're not.
Connor is here.
talking.
No, we're not. I'm still here. Have you pet your cat yet? Are they nice? Did they enjoy it? I'm sure they did. You are now more loved by everyone. And that's a good thing. Because you should be. Because you deserve it. Now we're back. I think.
Adam has just asked me, have we already done the Last Jedi session?
Well, you see. You're too late.
And I'm about to say to him, we're currently filming the Solo session.
Tell him he's featuring on the solo session. Let's welcome Adam, everyone. There should be applause here.
Ah, bugger, he says. Oh, well, you fucking missed out, Adam. You missed out on a very angry rant.
Solo the rant.
And yeah, I think that would have been a very interesting video had Adam been on it, because he's actually like, I think he said to me he's interested. I'm not sure if he said he's positive, but he's interested in about 2/3 of The Last Jedi.
Oh no.
But what I'm going to say to him is talk about The Last Jedi when we do Rise of Skywalker review. Hey, there we go.
Yeah. If JJ's like, hey, I can build off that. Can you do it? Show us. I want to see it.
Anyway, that's enough of Adam. He's not on this video, so he doesn't need the spotlight. Okay. Oh shit, that's right. We're doing the trivia. I completely forgot.
Yep. Please continue.
The collection in Dryden Voss's meeting room includes a set of Mandalorian battle armor made famous by bounty hunters Django and Boba Fett, and the Mandalorian himself. Oh, Adam says he's compiling notes about The Last Jedi. Oh, fucking... I thought we already finished talking about that damn film. And now he's going to come back and be like, oh, but the themes represent pain and family. And it's like, fuck off.
But they're not family.
Like, I'm usually very lenient and open with Adam. I like to give him some time to give his own thoughts, even if they're different from my own. But I'm so passionately have so much passionate hatred towards The Last Jedi that I just can't deal with it. I just don't care to listen. I'm sorry, Adam, if you're watching this, but like, I really, really, really hope that you realize that I don't mean this as a personal attack for you or anything. I just fucking hate that film with a burning passion, and I don't want to talk about it. But we'll let you discuss it if you want, so just don't expect me to care. With this film, Warwick Davis has been involved in 10 Star Wars related projects, starting with The Return of the Jedi. Because he was in this film too.
He was, yeah.
The Imperial March in Major Key plays during the recruitment film at the Corellian spaceport. I remember that. There was that little thing. It reminded me of in Spider-Man Homecoming with Captain America's got that little video about like teaching the kids about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Except not as interesting as Captain America. Again, something that I want to echo. I cared more about Captain America and Spider-Man when I first saw it in cinemas. I didn't like Captain America. I hadn't seen anything other than the first Avenger and the Avengers. I'd only seen Phase 1 for him. And all I thought he was just some fucking patriotic douchebag. And then I watched Spider-Man Homecoming and I'm like, who's this fuckhead? So I'm at the point where I prefer that to the fucking Imperial March. Ah, well. Disney. Yeah.
They ruin everything you love.
Yep. Oh, no. Just before attempting a very risky maneuver in the Millennium Falcon, Han says, I have a really good feeling about this.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, you changed it. Why'd you change it?
You've been subverted. Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? There's a running gag in Doctor Who. It started in the Three Doctors, which is the first multi-Doctor story they did. Where the second Doctor walks into the third Doctor's TARDIS, and he's like, oh, you've done the TARDIS up a bit. I don't like it. Like, basically to say that even though they're the same person, they hate each other's TARDIS and they hate each other's personalities. Yeah. And they repeat it as like a good meme over the course of it. Like, David Tennant does it when he sees Matt Smith's TARDIS. He's like, oh, you've redecorated. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then, and I know this is a spoiler for you, Anthony, but I really don't give a shit. When Jodie Whittaker's Doctor sees her TARDIS, she's like, I really like it.
Oh, well.
And hearing Han Solo say, I have a good feeling about this, just reminds me of that cringe. So yeah, bit of trivia. The stripes on Dryden Voss's face are tan when he is calm, but turn darker when he gets angry.
See, okay, because with that, I was like, oh, cool, he's gonna, like, explode into a fire elemental. Something good like that. But they're like, it's just colored. And when he gets angry, it's a red. And I was like, is that it? That's all there is? Okay. It's pretty boring. I mean, why should I give a shit? If there's nothing at all to it, it's like, see that on the table? That is a clock. Cool, man. I don't give a shit.
See these dice? It means something.
We don't know what, but it's something. For sure, it's something.
When Beckett, Quera, and Hahn discuss Imperial stashes of hyperfuel they could steal, they mention Scarif, the Imperial planet that houses the plans of the Death Star in Rogue One.
Sorry, did you call it Quera?
Well, it's spelt with a Q, so my brain instantly thought that. I know it's Kira, but I said that.
Quera? That's funny.
Oh, well, we'll move on from that. During an interview on the Graham Norton show... Oh, hello, everyone! Star Wars guests! Phoebe Waller-Bridge said that prior to her casting...
no.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge said that prior to her casting, she had never seen a Star Wars film. Oh, what a surprise! Because she was cast as the droid, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
She decided to play L337 as a human in her audition when one of the directors asked her if she could be more droidy while making a mechanical hand gesture. She deduced that the droids are robots. Although the casting directors asked her to try it again, they liked her original interpretation of the character and gave her the part.
No.
No, Paul. The opening scene on Corellia and the opening scene in Rogue One, in which Krennic takes Galen Erso, takes place 13 years before the events of A New Hope. So the pre-titles of, well, the fucking whatever it is, the start of Rogue One, when Jin's a girl, is in the same time period as this film.
Does that... I'm trying to do the math in my brain if that lines up.
So
Does it line up?
So it's 13 years before A New Hope, and it's 7 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Which means that in this film, Han is like 20. Or 9,
Oh, yeah.
or 19, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that does make a little bit of sense.
Yeah. This was Lawrence Kasdan's 4th time working on the Star Wars film franchise. He was a screenwriter for Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens. Interesting, because his contributions to the original trilogy were fucking phenomenal. And what has he given Disney? Some dialogue that doesn't sound like the prequels. I can give him that. But apart from that, what has he done? Even then, I could still criticize his dialogue. I have a good feeling about this.
Oh, we'll change it because it's, Han Solo.
It was noted... No, that's not Han Solo. That's not how the Force works. It was noted in A New Hope that the Stormtroopers do not form the primary ranks of the Imperial Army and are in fact supposed to be elite mooks. This finally plays out with the introduction of the Imperial Infantry, who, as shown in the Battle of Mimban, are mostly green conscripts like Han are so terrified, untrained, and incompetent that stormtroopers qualify as elite soldiers by comparison.
See, because they have this line in there as well with the monkey-looking guy. And he's like, you can't even see out of these things. What the hell? He's like complaining about how shitty they are. And it's like, yes, they're shit because they can't. That makes sense. Thank you. But then it's, I don't know. It just, because we already kind of knew that.
Here's one that you'll understand. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller left as writers of The Flash to work on the film. And original editor Chris Dickens left halfway through production, citing irreconcilable creative differences with producer Kathleen Kennedy and also co-writer Lawrence Kasdan. A studio report reveals that Lord and Miller's comedic screwball tone and freewheeling approach angered Kasdan, who wanted the film shot the way it was written. It also angered the other production department heads, who complained directly to Kennedy. The final straw came in a 2-week break while production moved from the UK to Canary Islands. Kennedy, Kasdan, and replacement editor Pietro Scalia were shocked at the footage and decided to fire Lord and Miller.
So I'm just trying to look here because I believe this film was 2019. Was it 2019?
2018.
18. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. They on like the terms of the Flash TV show, they left and it got worse. But it's I find it really funny that like they went for Disney and then they did this shit and then like Kathleen's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. Leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny, and now we're hearing we're hearing similar stuff. There was all this shit with The Last Jedi too, you know. It's very funny. And in my honest opinion, I think Jon Favreau should be in charge of Star Wars.
Well, he shouldn't be in charge of the Lion King, that's for sure.
No, well, because with the Mandalorian, he's shown he knows very clearly. He has a set story, and he has experience with Iron Man, like the first Iron Man directing
Yeah.
that.
The only thing
And so
about the only
with
thing,
that, he understands how an overarching story works.
the only-
As opposed to, oh, who's Snoke? You'll find out next time. Oh, here's next time, and he's actually dead. That doesn't matter.
The only potential problem with that is that it's kind of he's more so good at like the self-contained one character stories.
That's fair enough.
So I would say if Jon Favreau was in charge of like these kind of films, like Rogue One and Solo, that would be great. But I don't know about the actual massive, like in terms of the if you're talking about like directors for the actual episodes of Star Wars, like for example 7, 8, 9. You would think someone like Joss Whedon or the Russos would be the best choice, not fucking Rian Johnson, some idiot who made Looper and Knives Out, like some really obscure director.
Yeah. It's almost like the guy who did Amazing Spider-Man 2. They're like, oh, let's get a music video director and put him on a big movie like this one. He's done music videos. He knows what he's doing. No, he doesn't, because they're different. Very different, in fact.
Han bears a scar on his chin, which is only barely noticeable in some shots. It's a recreation of the scar Harrison Ford has in real life, which is visible in every Star Wars movie he appeared in. Cool. The whole chess game is animated the same way as it was done in the original Star Wars films with stop-motion animation. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it's just a little thing, isn't it? When Kira and Han are caught kissing in Lando's cape closet, Kira is trying on Lando's blue cape with a black collar, which he wore in Empire Strikes Back. Well, what a way to just taint that beautiful blue cape that's so sexy from Empire with, I'm just going to wear it. And then they fucking get their fucking saliva all over it. Oh, well. When Han meets Lando for the first time, Han asks him, "Can I ask you a question, Captain Calrissian?" To which Lando answers, "Anything, Han." Han then answers back saying, "It's Han, but it's okay." This referenced the way Billy D. Williams said Han's name is Han in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I know. Spice in the Star Wars universe is an illicit and addictive substance.
Like death sticks?
You want to buy some death sticks? So apparently spicy food is like drugs.
Damn, I was saying earlier today, I was like, my New Year's resolution will be to eat more spicy food. So I'm going to do some Star Wars drugs, guys.
So do death sticks are they like ghost peppers?
They're really, really spicy.
God, my cat. You hear my cat, can't you?
Yeah.
She rolls her
It sounds
eyes.
like there's somebody trying to like
She rolls her eyes as well. She goes.
Uh,
That's right. She'll stop eventually. This is the first film to feature Chewbacca in a lead role.
Yeah, but he wasn't really, was he?
For this, they had to produce 8 suits and 10 heads. Because Chewbacca said he's 190 in this film, it makes him 200 in over 200, I'd say, in A New Hope. That'd be 203, wouldn't it? Or was it 10 years, or is it... No, hang on, fuck, that's right, 3 years passes. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's 200 in A New Hope, 203 in Empire, 204 in Return of the Jedi, 234 in Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi.
See, right there, there's a time gap in our original trilogy. The new ones are like, nah, fuck it, they do it in 3 days.
Mm-hmm. But is it the rumors true about episode 9 being like in the future, like years in the future, or I don't know.
Apparently it's like a couple, but like 1 or 2. It's not like,
Yeah, because JJ Abrams is like, I need to reset this so I can write a story that makes some sense.
Yeah, but it won't. It won't. It really won't.
So are the kids from Canto Bite going to be growing up in the next one?
Yeah, but what? How are they not all killed from their fucking guys whipping them
I don't know.
after Finn and Rose left it into shit?
Now it's
And
worth
then
it.
they just left. And then the slave master's like, you fucking bastard, I'm gonna whip you now.
Now it's worth it. ILM Animation provided the hyperspace footage that was projected on set during the scenes in the Falcon's cockpit. Not only did this help actors feel immersed in the Star Wars world, but it also helped the camera department understand how to light the area and photograph it.
There's the cat.
Has there been cats in Star Wars?
Spoilers. I won't say anything.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
There has been an Clone Wars TV show, because I'm sure that isn't a spoiler. That isn't a spoiler. In fact, that's just something that's in it. And like I don't know how long it is, but it's pretty long. There's like 4 seasons. So there's actually like 5 or 6, maybe 5. I think there's 5.
Charlie Cox lobbied for a title role, even had a screen test with producers. He eventually turned down as they feared that his tendency not to keep eye contact, a trait required for his portrayal of a blind man in Daredevil, weakens the character portrayal.
I would say he did good by avoiding this one, not getting this one, because he is my favorite Daredevil actor. There's only 2, so
Yeah, there's not
too
much
hard,
choice,
but-
is there?
yeah, no. But he like if you ever watch
The
it,
first one was
he's
fucking
10 out of
what's his
10.
face?
Affleck,
That's right. Yeah,
the
Batman.
fool. Oh, he's not Batman.
I've got
Nobody's
that. I've
Batman.
got Ben
Oh,
Affleck's Daredevil on DVD
Why?
because it came with like a pizza order my dad got like when it came out.
Oh, pizza.
I was like, you order this kind of pizza, you get this DVD.
It was that bad, huh?
I don't know. Han's Speedo was inspired by the 70s aesthetic, was modeled after Dodge Chargers and Chevy Malibus. I suppose it had some similarities to Luke's Speedo, but it was like not as cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, Han has a thermal detonator. Reference.
It's a rock, actually. Very funny.
An R2 unit was turned into... Oh, yeah, what the fuck? That whole scene is so weird. With, like, that weird monster thing that somehow decided that it would be a good idea to have thin glass in the room, and as soon as it breaks, the monster, like, dies. It's like, well, if you're fucking, smart, and you wanted to save your own life, you wouldn't stay in a room where glass that gets broken would kill you.
Yeah.
Bad guys are dumb. What's she doing? What she could be possibly be doing? And she goes to Lightspeed. Oh well, Snoke, he's dead.
That's the joke.
What the fuck? My cat just made a weird noise. She went. God, my cat smells like the bad beans you get in the Bean Boozle.
Fuck. Or vomit flavor.
Isn't there one that's like there's dog food, isn't there? But it's not cat food, is it?
Nah, it's dog food. Dog biscuits or
Canned
something.
dog food. In Lawrence Kasdan's initial storyline for Solo, Wookiees were enslaved by the Empire on a mining planet of Kessel. I suppose they changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Inspiration for the fighting droids at Fort Yipso, came from concept art for Maz Kanata's castle in Force Awakens.
The sequels.
Six Eyes is the most sophisticated mechanical head ever produced. It has over 50 servos inside of the head and the onboard intelligence. The exterior Millennium Falcon build weighs 31 tons and had to be moved around using 2 cranes. Just like how the fucking titty monster from Last Jedi had to be moved around with a helicopter.
Why?
God, Disney's conception of Star Wars is so weird. The scenes in which Han experiences Imperial combat are inspired by the trench warfare in World War One. Yeah, well, I couldn't even fucking see it, though. I couldn't see it.
It's funny because some people be like, "Oh, well, that was the point."
Hey,
like,
this
yeah,
is
but not when it's a movie.
This is gonna be
'Cause you're meant
interesting.
to see things.
This is gonna be
in a movie.
interesting. The war scenes from X-Men Origins Wolverine were better than the ones in this film. That's saying something. At the start of the film, Han is wearing a white vest over a black shirt, the inverse of what he wears in A New Hope. Oh well, we were subverted. That's all that
Once
matters.
again.
That's all that matters. We were just subverted, you know? Old-fashioned smoke and mirrors were used when shooting the Savarine to make some of the environment's skiffs float. Here we go. These are all the actors that were screen tested for young Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
This might interest you to know these names. Dave Franco,
Oh.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, Miles Teller, Nick Robinson, Leo Howard, Tony Oller, Chandler Riggs, Hunter Parrish, Rami Malek,
Oh, that would have been good.
Landon Lee Boyron, Ed Westwick, Tom Felton. Fucking hell, that's weird. Ben Key, Eddie Westcott, Joshua Saz, Logan Lerman, Ansel Elgort, Jack Rayner, Colton Haynes, Max Theoriot, what the fuck you say his name? Scott Eastwood, Chris Pratt. What the fuck, Chris Pratt?
Oh.
At least, I mean, if they wanted to go down the whole thing of it being a funny film, he would have been the perfect choice. Like, you know, the original directors.
Yeah.
But that also would have been a bit interesting, him being Han Solo. Wait, did you send that picture?
I might have.
Oh. Yeah. Anthony just sent a picture of Rey screaming in Rise of Skywalker. Didn't ye?
That's, yeah.
Eldon Ehrenreich, which is the one that got this role, Taron Egerton, Emery Cohen, Jack O'Connell, and Blake Jenner. I think Chris Pratt would have been very interesting for his Han Solo.
I feel with Chris Pratt because he's
just very busy.
obviously.
Isn't he?
Well, for me, right. If it was Chris Pratt, I would have been like, oh, he's very old, How old is Han Solo in this movie? He's pretty old.
He's meant to be
isn't
like 20, eh? Yeah.
he? Yeah, and like Chris Pratt is.
Chris Pratt's like
not.
older than what Harrison Ford was when he did the original trilogy.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why that would have, if that was the case, I would have been like, did you just put him in here because he was
If
in
it was-
Marvel, didn't you?
If it was Chris Pratt from like 2014 when he did Guardians 1, I might be able to buy it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's busy with fucking Guardians and Jurassic World, isn't he?
Mm.
Infist Nest tells Han the war is just beginning. A line of dialogue Luke would later say verbatim to Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi. Ugh. Well, you know what's one version of that line that's way better than both of them? Is when Yoda says, "Begun the Clone War has," in Attack of the Clones. Oh my god, I just saw the stupidest bit of trivia ever. You wanna know what it is?
Go.
Han's dice are identical to those used in The Last Jedi.
Wow, I would wonder why.
Apparently Solo was the temporary name of this film, but then they couldn't think of a better one, so they just used it.
That sounds very lazy.
I mean, this whole
Well,
film
what-
is lazy.
It's like, well, what should we call it? Why not just Solo? Figure something. Yeah, we couldn't. Shit. Just how about Solo? A Star Wars story. You got the
Because
little
that's what,
subtitle.
I mean, that's what they called Rogue One. It was Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
But Rogue One made sense because it wasn't.
Oh, no. I'm saying they
it's
said
not
they...
like a main character or anything.
Oh, no,
It's
they
like
called it...
completely.
I mean, the part where they call it a Star Wars story comes from Rogue One.
Yeah. No, I know, but for me, it works in Rogue One because Rogue One has, apart from Vader, like zero to connection to, anything we had seen before, and then it's like a Star Wars story, and you're like, oh yeah, shit, this is linked. Whereas it's like Solo, hey, here's $1 million. This is all the other films because we need to remind you that it's Star Wars because our actors aren't very good. Neither is the story. It's Solo, by the way. Did you forget? Because it's Solo from the Star Wars guy is Solo, and that's him you're watching.
The casting of Solo was one of the longest processes since Universal's search for Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey.
And that didn't work out too well for them either.
Also, I just want to add how shit the line is when Lando says Millennium Falcon. He sounds so bored when he's saying it.
Yeah.
Might I introduce to you Millennium Falcon? It's very weird.
Hmm.
Billy D. Williams is 5 years older than Harrison Ford. Donald Glover is 6 years older than Alvin Ehrenreich. This is the first Star Wars film in which C-3PO and R2-D2 do not appear.
Yeah.
Well, that just makes it not canon, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Yeah, it just. I don't know if it is that that actual like fact that kind of makes it just a little bit off, or it's that and amongst a whole lot of other things that you kind of watch it and then you go, hang on, that was Star Wars, I think.
Vesper Lind, the female lead character from Casino Royale, is considered a major influence behind Kira. I imagine the reason why they did this is because they're like, oh, we need to do a Han Solo, solo film. Oh, let's make it like a James Bond film, except it doesn't make any fucking sense. And the difference being Vesper Lind is actually a good character, whereas Kira is not.
I found the ending with her very odd as well. Because it's like, oh, come meet me when you're done. Okay. Oh, I'm actually going to turn this on. And here's my well, another twist for you. Hey, fuck you with these twists. And they don't meet up, but Han just leaves anyways because he doesn't give a shit. Neither do I.
This film includes the first use of Lando Calrissian's full first name, Landonus.
I thought that was them making fun of him.
Landanus.
Yeah, I was like, haha, landowners, that's silly.
Emilia Clarke is the 12th actress from Game of Thrones to appear in Star Wars. Julian Glover...
Gee, it's almost like they're jumping ship or something.
Julian Glover was in Empire Strikes Back. He was the guy controlling the AT-AT, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Castle Hughes was in Revenge of the Sith. Gwendolyn Christie, Max von Sydow, Jessica Henwick, Thomas Brodie Sangster, Mark Stanley, Miltos, Yero Limo, and Eamon Elliott appeared in The Force Awakens. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen appeared in Rogue One. Kate Dickie appeared in The Last Jedi. Stuntmen Lian Yang and Cece Smith worked on The Force Awakens as stuntmen. And Nina Gold was the casting director on both.
How many were sequel trilogy and how many were prequel and original?
So there's only one for the original, which is Julian Glover. There's only one for the prequels, which is Keisha Castle Hughes, and everyone else is Disney.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also, I just want to add, Keisha Castle Hughes' character in Game of Thrones is absolutely terrible. She's one of the sand snakes, and she's shit. But Julian Glover plays Grandmaster Pycelle, and I love him.
Oh, I like to carry my chain around and fuck whores.
Oh, okay.
He's also the main villain in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Ah,
And that
is a good movie.
And he's also the voice of Aragog in Chamber of Secrets.
Aragog.
And he also plays 2 different Doctor Who villains.
Ooh.
He's been around. Tessa Thompson, Naomi Scott, Zoe Kravitz, Kiersey Clemens, and Jessa Henwick were screen tested for Kira.
Ew.
Oh, Tessa Thompson as Kira. Ugh. God, that would have been worse. Oh, my character is that I'm drunk and I fall over.
But it's female empowerment.
Oh, but I like Valkyrie. She's cool.
Who says that?
Callum said that in the Ragnarok review.
Oh. Oh, well.
I just don't give 2 shits about it, honestly.
I didn't have an issue with her, but, like, I think...
Also, have you noticed...
Repeat viewings, I was kind of like,
Also,
why?
You noticed she gained weight when in Endgame?
I did see that, yeah.
Mm.
I noticed.
She's also, like, in love with Brie Larson as well.
That's...
Women should get their own Avengers film.
Well, yes, but it should be done right. It shouldn't just be, a woman will do it. Oh, who's that? What? Kathleen Kennedy will do it. No, don't do that.
Donald Glover was born the same year Return of the Jedi came out.
Ugh.
Early inspiration for Corellia came from New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. The second installment in the Star Wars anthology series, and probably the last, to be honest.
Yeah, I think after like this failure, and then maybe we should stick to TV.
Yeah, because
and keep it on Disney Plus and make money.
Because Callum and I were discussing in the Rogue One review about how it would be way better if it was a TV series.
Yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't be able to afford to get Darth Vader in it if it was a TV series. That's the only thing.
Yeah, maybe like a season finale, like that's it.
I don't know. It would be really hard to get Darth Vader in a TV series. But But in terms of the story itself, would have benefited a bit from that, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy that The Mandalorian and Kenobi are TV series now instead of
I'm
films.
glad that The Mandalorian is good.
Does it give you hope for Kenobi?
It does a little bit, yeah, honestly.
Especially because it's fucking Ewan McGregor. And you know that Ewan McGregor, you can just tell that Ewan McGregor's going to be like, okay, I need to be like, obviously it's going to be similar to Revenge of the Sith, but he's going to like try and be more like Alec Guinness as well, which is just going to be fantastic. Like, if anything, like, even if the fucking writing's shit, Ewan McGregor is probably going to be great.
Yeah.
Han Solo's gun belt has pouches for 9-volt batteries.
Does he keep 9-volt batteries in there?
I don't know.
Why not?
You notice how Chewbacca got like his ammo thing from just off the ground, like conveniently. It was just there.
What did you call him? Like the male equivalent of Mary Sue?
Gary Stew.
Gary, I really like that. I'm gonna start using that.
There's a Star Trek character that's known for being like that. It's like the definite article of a Gary Stew. It's like a Mary Sue, but male. You know?
Yeah.
Because Mary Sue
No, I
is not
picked
a
that up,
gender
but-
specific thing. Like some people are like,
No.
you're a fucking sexist. It's like, no, I'm not.
No, it's like an actual film, a term in film.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it just got popular again with Star Wars or the sequels.
Yeah, how fucking dare they turn Han Solo into a Gary Stew? Like, what a horrible thing to do. Ruined one of the best characters. Like, if anything, that's one of the biggest problems this film has, is it ruins Han Solo. I mean, the Force Awakens stuff was already iffy, but I was willing to let it slide just slightly. But then with this one, I'm like, nah, fuck it, it's done.
Yeah, I think they hit. Well, with this, they would have, because not many people did see this movie. They would have hit a lot of people's kind of childhood, because I think a lot of people grew up loving the character of Han Solo. And after The Last Jedi, of course, the fan base tore into two. And then people like you and me were like, yeah, well, I'm not going to go Solo, fuck you. And it's a good thing we didn't, because I would have been very, very salty that Disney had made me pay to see another movie of another character that I used to love, and they shit on it. So I'm glad I didn't pay to see this movie.
Yeah, when this film came out, I had like a few hours to spare, and I was in Mission Bay by myself, and I saw the poster. I'm like, it's Star Wars. I should probably go see that. And then I thought better of it. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't fucking spend my money on that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
This is Emilia Clarke's third sci-fi film. The others were Triassic Attack and Terminator Genesis. Apparently,
Wow,
Terminator
what a
Genesis
surprise.
is absolutely terrible. Like, apparently,
Yeah, I was
going to
say,
bad.
what a surprise. They're all shit. Triassic Attack. Yeah, that looks poor.
Everyone says that Cersei was a better Sarah Connor than Daenerys.
Yeah, I believe
Probably
it.
because she's a better actor, let's be honest.
Yeah, she is. Because she takes her shit seriously.
I mean, so does Emilia Clarke, but she's just not very good. Where are my dragons? Oh, is he returned? Has he returned?
Oh.
There he
Return of
is.
the King.
There he is. There he is. What's some of the important trivia that we just discussed, Anthony? Is there anything like really important that he needs to know?
No, it was just how they shoved
Was
a
this
lot
film
of.
good?
No, it's still bad.
Okay.
It was just how they shoved all like these little references everywhere, and it's like,
It's a
Yeah, we don't
reference
care.
fest.
yeah, it's like, dude, we don't give a shit. Your film's still poo poo.
Yeah. Now, whilst I fix the screen, I should probably not leave dead air on this fucking video. So, Callum, now that you're back, you're full of energy, and we've just talked for ages, we'll have a rest of our voices. Give your thoughts on Dryden Voss, who is Paul Bettany's character.
Needed more of him. He's just a wacky... He's that classic B-movie wacky villain that is just like, you do something wrong and I fucking kill ya. It's that things that I'm so filled with anxiety, I'm gonna fucking kill ya. And it's just like, what a waste of Paul Bettany, who's a really good actor. It's just like, I like how he foresees all the betrayals and still dies.
This came out
Like,
the same year
where
as
have we
this
seen-
came out the same year as Infinity War.
Where have we seen that before in a Star Wars movie?
Probably the shit ones. It's like in that scene, there's like 7 betrayals, and all of them are stupid.
Yep, they are. They're shit.
And he dies. He's the one that dies first, even though he's the one that saw all of it coming.
Oh god.
I
What a
guess he
mess.
just didn't expect Solo to expect to be betrayed and then betrayed and then betrayed.
Just sounds so stupid when you say it like that.
But that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Solo expects to be betrayed, to then be betrayed, and then there's a secret attack that he'd only plan if he knew he was being betrayed. But he knew that Beckett was leaving, but then
If I may, it's a bit like a previous Rick and Morty episode where the whole episode is like, I knew you would do this, so I did this, and I knew that you would know that this, and I knew this, and the whole episode is just that, and it's shit and boring. But they did that in a
At
film,
least with that
which is
though.
arguably worse.
At least with that though, at least it's a fucking joke.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is it's because they do that, and then the end, it's like, that was stupid, and it's kind of like, haha, that was a bit funny. But this is like, it takes itself seriously as well as trying to do that, and it's just like, oh, yep, I don't give a shit.
Also in the trivia, Callum, we found out that the red lines on his face were CGI. Like Paul Bettany didn't know they existed until he saw the film.
why? Why are they a thing?
And they were
What's the fucking point of them? What is that narratively? What's the fucking point of them?
we were talking about how it's kind of similar to Whiplash's tattoos in Iron Man 2.
I don't know what his tattoos meant.
No.
I don't give a shit.
No. Didn't he like get his tattoos CGI'd out?
Oh,
Because he had like a
Yeah.
Mandarin tattoo, but then they got rid of it.
yeah. Like, what's the point of the lines on his face? Is that to show the audience that he's angry
Oh, he's
and
Snoke.
crazy?
He's Snoke. Ugh.
Oh, he's so fucking crazy. He's so fucking crazy.
And then when he gets angry, they get darker.
Yeah, and his face just becomes just red with anger. He just sees red because
Wow,
his
much
face
like-
is red.
A regular person.
Yeah. Yeah, so the problem with him is that whilst Paul Bettany is a top A-class actor and has a very hot wife,
He has 2 scenes.
yeah, he has 2 scenes and the plot surrounding him is so terrible. It's so bad. It just makes no fucking sense.
I like how he kills like a high imperial like whatever, but there's no repercussions to that.
Yeah, he just
know.
does it.
It's just like because he's
Even
fucking
though,
crazy.
even though, earlier in the fucking film he talked about the repercussions of letting them not be punished. What a waste of vision, eh?
What a stupid fucking. What a stupid villain / I'm not actually a villain because I'm in it for 2 scenes.
Also, he's got way more chemistry with Elizabeth Olsen than he does with Amelia Clark, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. What would you do if you found out that someone had betrayed you?
And then what
I'd
happens later in the
find
film?
my dragons.
Oh dear.
'Cause where are my dragons?
Can't wait to review that episode, Callum? Oh dear. Should we move on from fucking...
Yeah, because
Yeah.
what else is to say about him other than he's the villain for 2 scenes, and he doesn't do anything, and he gets betrayed, but he knows he's going to get betrayed, and then he dies.
And now we move on to the 80,000th plot twist in this film. Darth Maul.
Oh my god, he's alive.
So,
Such a clunky bit of fan service.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was not the first Jedi in 1,000 years to kill a Sith. He survived.
Yeah.
Rebels is canon, apparently.
Well, I always thought it was canon. And Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm more happy about, but because I wanted to go over this.
I always thought it was canon. I didn't realize. Nope.
Well,
Hold on.
okay, so I'll get into this because I wanted to get into this.
All right.
So the Clone Wars is basic. There's a whole storyline, and of the episodes that I've seen, I did watch that storyline, and it's basically how, it shows you how after Obi-Wan Kenobi cut him in half, he managed to like just barely survive using the Force, but because it was the dark side of the Force, he went nut. He went crazy down in that little pit that he fell down, and his brother, or like a guy who was the same race. They call each other brothers. Everyone from that race is brothers, apparently. Saves him, and like he comes back, and it's actually somehow a good story. This is why I like the Clone Wars. But between that and the end of Rebels, there's no, and this is what I find really funny. Between that and like the end of Rebels, which is where he actually gets killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's no space for him to be in this movie. So it's legit. They're just like, oh, here's this. People will like that, and it's like
It's clunky fan service.
yeah, it makes zero
And
sense.
it's meant to be teasing
Even
like,
in the
oh,
time-
Darth Maul's gonna have a little storyline with Kira and
Why does he
Solo
turn his
too.
fucking lightsaber on?
I found that really funny too. He
Yeah,
stands
what
up,
the fuck?
turns it
Why
on.
does he
He's
turn his
like,
lightsaber
"Ah."
on?
now I'll turn it off to
And
show
they've
you that I mean
played Duel of the
business.
Fates as well. They've played Duel of the Fates.
They're
When
gonna
he's
play it
talking.
in Rise of Skywalker as
Do you
well.
remember
so
the prequels? Do you
the song
remember?
is
Do you
just-
remember the fucking prequels?
Hey, we're referencing the Phantom Menace, like this film.
Please come and see Solo. We're losing money,
Imagine being so
Please, we're losing so much money.
but
Imag-
we're Disney. So
Imagine being
it's
so
nothing.
desperate that you reference the fucking Phantom Menace to get people to like your film.
To be fair, the good part of Phantom Menace, but it's still the Phantom Menace, and it's still
Yeah.
a clunky bit of fan service.
It is.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to exist, and it's silly, and it's stupid, and it again, like, it just thinking about Kira's character, it's like, oh, so the plot twist that she was really like, you don't know who I am, you don't know what I've done, Han, is the fact that she's working for fucking Darth Maul, but it doesn't lead anywhere.
I can't wait for the Darth Maul, Kira, spin-off film to the spin-off film.
Wow,
Can't wait for that to be explored in the comics.
I'm still waiting on that Gonk Droid film. So just
Gog,
let me know when it's
The one that was in the cage.
gog, gog,
yeah.
gog.
He's the Wolverine of the Star Wars.
Yeah, I remember I
universe.
was like fucking bored out of my mind of this film. Then I heard Gog, and I was like, "Oh, it's a Gog droid." I'm like, "No, I can't do that. That's fan service. It's bad for me." Trying to tempt me with that
Because
shit.
fan service is always bad, apparently.
Are we going to talk about any other characters before we move on to the vehicles?
Who else is that? There's
vehicle,
fucking-
singular.
I don't know. I don't know who else there is.
There's the one, the fucking one that Anthony says he's like, oh, he's alright, and then I'm like, no.
Oh, there's the people that in that gang that start the rebellion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, what the fuck was that? Fucking.
They started the guys. They started the rebellion.
Oh,
That's them.
that child
That's
actor.
Good.
Yeah, that was a shame because I liked the character. It's like I'm actually a child.
I like
I
how the
was like,
film
oh, well.
reveals that hey, the Paul Bettany guys, those are the bad guys. When film, we already knew they were bad guys. Why did you have to? Why was there some sort of reveal?
Also, when she started, she was like talking about her mother, and I was like, wait, hang on a second, is fucking Val her mother or something?
Yeah, that's why. When I first saw her, I thought it was Woody Harrelson's daughter because she looks like quite similar to Val, the actress who played Val.
See,
So I was like-
that would have been too good storytelling.
Yeah, that would have been too interesting to do.
Yeah, but they didn't have time because
And
it was
have
like the
a-
last. It was like the last.
Have
10
a
minutes.
dilemma for Woody Harrelson's character. Give him something other than there's a lesson to be learned here. It's fucking stupid. But yeah,
Anyway.
they're the start of the rebellion. They're like the Han Solo. Hey, you could be a general with the rebellion. It's like, nah, kid, I'm not that guy. And it's like, fucking.
Well,
Someone
Han,
hasn't
look at
seen
you,
the
a
OT.
well, Han, look at you, a general.
God, I fucking hate how they redo his arc from episode 4.
But not.
So fucking stupid.
But it's not even good.
No, even if it was good, it'd be stupid. But it's not
Yeah.
even good.
Yep, because he's a fucking Gary Stew now.
Yeah.
I think this whole film is just trying to reinvent what was already
Why is
perfected
he
in a
so
new
good? Why is he so good at piling? Well, we drove a speeder.
which
Yeah,
is a
so
different
they
vehicle.
turned
but
our
that's cool.
fucking Harrison Ford smuggler into, oh, what if Rey was a man and wasn't a Jedi?
His plans just all work because he knew he was going to get betrayed.
But then, is that him listening to what he had? Trust anybody, even though he said, "No, you just
well,
that's lonely way to live."
Fucking Nick Fury doesn't trust anyone because he got his eyes scratched out by a cat. So what is trust anyway?
He don't. Because cats are everybody. Aliens. Yeah.
And the
I was,
cat,
I,
and the cat eats the
I was
Tesseract.
actually very mad at that film for doing that.
You know what's a better cat film than Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel for everything.
But you know what's a better cat film than Captain Marvel is Toy Story 4.
Garfield,
Cats and dogs.
Because Toy Story 4 has the cat vomiting and it's so funny. And
I haven't watched
and it
Toy
goes-
Story 4 because I don't want my childhood to be ruined.
that's like the one good scene.
it's the
in
best
that.
scene.
It's the only good scene.
But
Everything else.
But
is
I
just-
think it's also because Anthony and I have a little meme about cat vomiting. It's really funny. Anyway, should we move on to the vehicles?
Sure, they're probably more interesting than the characters.
So we've got the Imperial Heavy TIE Fighter.
Is that like with the like extra little bit of like a bulb on it in the thing?
Yeah.
the big one.
Why
that
do
was
those
in the
exist? Why aren't those in the OT?
Well, the TIE bombers kind of look like them, but they actually have a purpose because they're actually bombers.
Yeah, that annoys me when they invent stuff in films that came before the OT.
store. Yeah.
Because then they should have showed up in the OT. You know where you are, film. You know what time you're set in. Also, why the fuck does the Empire just show up when they leave the planet? There's no reason for it. They just fucking show up for no reason because we needed the Kessel Run. Fucking.
You know what would have been a good
It's
idea?
fucking stupid.
Why don't they just actually have the Empire in the film?
Yeah. Nah, but that'd be too easy. We've seen too much of the Empire. The last spin-off film was about
We've
them.
seen too much of the stuff about Star Wars that we actually care about. Let's put in.
Yeah.
Let's put in
Yeah,
a
let's
fucking.
make
let's put in
new things.
Let's
like
put in fucking
fembots.
Han Solo having a shower with Chewbacca. Like what the?
It was very odd. I was like, why?
Star Wars.
What have you done?
Oh, they're
Why is-
bonding. Let's put in Lando fucking a robot.
Like,
No.
why would Han willingly get in a shower with Chewbacca?
No,
Well,
because
they've
he
just
got
met.
it. He was showering after like someone died, and I was like, oh, okay, this is him growing, and then and I'm like, why? Why?
Oh well, gay rights.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say
Fembots.
about the Imperial Heavy TIE Fighter other than the fact that it doesn't really explain why it exists. It's sort of a TIE bomber without the bombs.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not as like stupid as the bombers from The Last Jedi or anything.
No, because those are slow for no reason when they have Y-wings.
Then we have the Imperial Convex Transport, which is the train thing.
Why didn't they need trains when they have spaceships?
Yeah, it's literally just a train. It's literally a magnet train from Japan.
You can have trains for people who are poor, but if it was just to transfer like Imperial cargo, then why wouldn't you use ships?
Yeah, you'd probably think you'd have a rebel train, like an underground rebel train, not an Imperial one.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose maybe they don't want like people turning on them and like don't trust anyone. That's the theme of the film. So they don't trust any of their people to not like fly away with the resources in light speed into a different planet and be like, oh, I steal the Imperial resources and live out my life. They use a train so they can't fly away. That's my extremely contrived explanation for why that exists.
See,
They should start using
theory,
spaceships.
I have this theory where it's like anything in these films that you have to be like, hey, how does this work and why does this do this? And you have to explain it. It's not good.
Yep, agreed. Then we have the, which something that me and Anthony talked about a little bit, is the Carillion Land Speeder, which is modeled after many cars from the 70s, and it also has some similarities to Luke's one from Tatooine, except it's not as shit. It's more like upper class. Doesn't explain why Han can fly the Falcon. He just...
Yeah. Because you can transfer all your abilities from a speeder to the Millennium Falcon. Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
It's easy. It's easy.
And speaking of the
I
Falcon...
mean, that's why Rey can go from a staff to a sword. Because they're the same thing. Because they're weapons.
Yeah, it's why she can go from being homeless to triple killing TIE fighters.
She can go from getting parts from scrap ships, and then she can lift up a bunch of really big boulders in just 2 days. Because that's how training works.
Yeah, and the Millennium Falcon is very clean in this film, isn't it? It's very, like...
I mean, I like it. I like the design it is. Like, you know, it's nice and clean. It's got nice colours, but then it gets ruined. So it looks like the old Millennium Falcon from the OT, which is fine, but, you know, doesn't make this film better.
But the
Doesn't make it
main
worse.
problem with it is the fact that the fucking sex robot is now the Falcon.
Yeah.
The Falcon is a fembot.
The Falcon is a woman. So is the Force.
And that's why Han says she every time he talks about the Falcon.
Yeah, it's not because it's a ship, but because it's a female droid who is very
actual-
much
Yeah.
about female powers.
Lando must have felt great being back inside her in Return of the Jedi.
And he will feel great again in Rise of Skywalker when he fucks the Falcon.
Yeah.
That's why
You
he's
know
laughing.
they're going to reference that.
Yeah, they
you know
will,
They're
they
going to
will.
fucking reference
And he's gonna
that for
fiddle
no
with the
reason.
dice.
No, Leia has that.
No meaning.
Oh yeah, that's right now.
When she dies, because she probably is going to die, she'll have a thing with the dice in her hands.
Wait,
and
don't the
then she'll
dice
disappear or
disappear in The
something.
Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
Which makes no sense
And that-
because Luke's like no one's ever really gone, then the dice fucking disappear.
No one's ever really gone. I like how did Luke do extra force powers to keep the dice there for just a bit longer so Kylo would find them to fuck with him more?
Also, how does he
More
carry?
so than he really
also,
did.
how does he carry the dice there if he's a ghost or a hologram?
Force.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget, the Force is female.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
That's why
Because-
Leia can fly like
because-
Mary Poppins.
Because us males can't use the force because it's for women only.
It's just all luck, isn't it? It's all luck.
Like, imagine if people came out and said the Force is male.
Oh, Star Wars would be done.
It's the fucking same thing when you say the Force is female. Why not just say the Force is for everyone?
That would make a lot of more sense.
Because
And
in
it would
Star
be
Wars,
like
there's
a-
fucking different aliens that have the Force during
Yeah.
the prequels. Fucking
But that sounds better
what a novel
too.
concept.
Mm.
Fuck you, Disney.
Also, we had a little rant because they wasted the Kraken. The space Kraken. It's just happens and then it's gone.
It's a space kraken.
Give me the Kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Give me a good movie, Disney. Please, for fuck's sake.
I like Rogue One.
It's like I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I say it's okay.
Oh well. It's got the good scenes in it though.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Disney Star Wars film, but it's not saying much.
No, that isn't.
No, it's not saying much at all.
Like look at what it's up against.
Yeah.
Yes, the laziest fucking A New Hope clone ever. Then you've got this piece of shit, which is just weird. And then you've got The Last Jedi, which is the biggest piece of shit ever made.
I can't remember any other films.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just those two. Those two were the bad
Yeah,
ones.
The Force Awakens and
But you
Solo.
kinda, yeah. We skipped episode 8. You know that doesn't exist. We're going from 7 to 9 because that's how numbers work.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how the Doctor escapes the time capsule and ends up where River Song is. Anyway, we'll be discussing that more at some point. Actually, no, we would have already discussed it when this comes out in the calendar.
Time's weird like that.
I'm looking forward to experiencing that 2 days ago. Should we move on from the vehicles to the planets?
Yeah. Sure.
Right, we've got Corellia, which appears at the start of the film.
Dirty Corellians. I don't know why I said that. It's oh god, that we haven't even talked about the opening like scene with the fucking weird lizard worm thing.
And the title sequence.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's a
like,
lawless time.
Oh, fucking! I hate that so much. How it says a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, and then it uses the same font. It's like it's a lawless time.
It's a lawless time with the Empire in charge with their laws. Fucking films.
Well, it was a shame because when it said it's cowboy-esque shit, they're like, nah, the Empire's.
If it was on a planet where the Empire are not in control of the planet, that would make sense.
Like Tatooine.
Yeah.
But they're on fucking a planet with a fucking imperial, like, check. Like a passport-esque check. So there's a law.
Yeah, but you know what they're trying to say though. They're like, oh, it's
So much for the fucking lawless time.
whoa, what an upgrade you've got here with your new camera. You gone straight to Ashton Kutcher cam right there. You just got punked. It's not lawless.
That's what happened though.
Yeah,
But yeah, that weird worm thing. I like how it's next to windows. That can be easily opened if you just throw a rock at it.
Yeah.
That's a
oh
great plan.
fuck, that's so weird. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hibernate in a place that I can die in.
Also, I like how they search on Han Solo, but they don't search on Daenerys, even though they probably know that they're dating.
Oh, but yeah, but if you search Daenerys, that's sexual assault.
Yeah. And also that would ruin the plot of the film because then they'd both be captured and wouldn't be,
Yeah,
one of them
just
would
like
be
how
able, wouldn't be able
Han,
to escape.
just like how Han has BB-8 by his side in Force Awakens when he didn't need to.
Yeah.
The First Order's looking for a droid just like it.
Anti-fugitives.
Tell that to Kanja Club.
But yeah, the planet's dirty. It's an engine. There's lots of engineers around. It's a planet.
I couldn't see a fucking thing. The cinematography was too dark.
The lighting was terrible.
Yeah, the lighting of this film is terrible. Like the only scene that really
it
looks
loves to be tinted. It loves to be like dark, but with a certain color,
it's gotta
either
be
yellow,
dank.
blue, purple, or whatever.
Or it's like dark yellow for the war planet.
Yeah. And like orange for like the card game.
Yeah, the only time that you can actually fucking see the film is when they're in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Or when they're on like the desert planet thing. Yeah.
But yeah, Corellia. Anthony, have you got anything else to say about Corellia?
No,
All right.
nothing.
Let's move on to. Oh, fuck! I always forget the name, and I've got to open up my phone. And it's got a password. and everything.
Snow planet.
No, it's not. It's Mimban. It's the war planet.
Oh, dirty planet.
I
It's
can't
just
comment on this
dirty.
one because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, it's just mud.
I even
and
turned the
fog.
brightness up on my phone. I still couldn't see anything.
Yeah, it's just it's dirty and there's trenches and stuff.
But it's not salt, guys. Not salt or ice. It's neither.
Salt.
What if someone put it in their mouth and went, "That's shit"?
Imagine someone in World War One, like putting the mud in their mouth and going, that's shit. I'm about to die. There's diseases in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he dies, and everyone in his trench goes, "What a fucking fool!"
Yeah, then they hold on to their dice
Yeah.
because sentimental themes.
Themes.
That's not a theme.
Themes.
That's not how they work.
Themes.
Yes. Joker has bad themes, doesn't it?
Oh god, I saw a tweet when I woke up this morning, and it said like, "Man, Joker was shit," and I just had the gif of someone just doing like a spit take and laughing, and then someone fucking commented on that tweet saying like, "It wasn't funny at all. Won't be watching it again," and the reply saying, "It's not a comedy." And then they reply saying like that they know and that it was good, but they just didn't want to watch it again. So I was like, do you like it or don't you like it?
I didn't like Joker. It wasn't funny.
Like fucking hell.
It wasn't funny. I didn't laugh.
I think people who think Joker is shit are terrible people.
I think they're either like because there are the Marvel shills. They're either one of those, or
I
they're
don't know.
like they're one
I
of
don't
those
know the
people
person.
who's like, "Oh, they're swearing, so it's not a good film."
I don't know the person personally or the person who replied saying that it wasn't funny at all. Personally, it's just I think they're wrong. Joker wasn't shit. Joker was the best film of last year. It just was.
It
So
came out this
I-
year, Callum. It's still 2019.
He's
I
talking
mean, like the
future
past
tense.
year.
Oh.
This past year has been the best film of the past year.
I understand the art of that film, or maybe I don't. I don't know anymore. Art's subjective, so whatever. But I can understand the praise, and I definitely won't say anything negative. I think
Certainly,
it's, an
it's certainly
interesting
not
handles-
shit, is it? It's certainly not like shit.
No, it handles
handles-
it interestingly, and that's I think all
The way
I
it handles the
can
mental
say.
illness aspect and the way it uses society's way to say how they failed the people with mental illness is very well done.
society.
It's also very beautiful looking, the lighting's great, the performances are great. So even if you think the plot is just okay, those other stuff, it makes it great.
Yeah, Phoenix is
Like, it's
full-blown
really
autism in that film. That's great.
And Robert De Niro is fun.
I mean, how could
Until
you?
he gets
I mean,
shot in the face.
actually, even then, that you talking about Joker not being funny. How is the fucking scene where the midget can't grab the lock not funny?
That is really funny.
Great. And that fucking shows that the Joker has morals.
Anyway,
Fucking idiots.
moving on from
That
that.
was funny. It wasn't funny. Didn't laugh.
Yeah, I didn't laugh when that Joker killed those kids in the train. I'm like, you're not meant to laugh. You're not meant to fucking laugh. It's murder.
But the film's called Joker.
Yeah, it should be like Ragnarok. It should be funny.
Where's Heath Ledger? These people would probably say.
He's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
Here is another great actor in Phoenix.
um,
Joaquin Phoenix.
who was meant to be DJ in The Last Jedi,
But he
Thank
wasn't.
God he wasn't.
but now he's Joker.
Yeah, because he can go and be in a great film instead of a really shit one.
Anyway, moving on from Mimban, we have Vandor, which is the snow planet.
It's just shitty Hoth. Hoth? Hoth.
Shitty hell.
How?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's just a snow planet.
There is a
Man,
train.
can he not make any more terrain planets instead of just desert and snow and jungle planets?
Yeah, that's all they got.
I'm trying to think of planets they've made recently. Can't remember.
Well, in the trailers,
Crate's
they're
got
in like a
salt. It's fucking salt.
At least
tastes
it's
like
different. I will give
salt.
it that, but but the film's still shit.
Tastes like salt, but not your regular table salt. It's probably like a rock salt or something.
Well,
There's
that's
a
something
hint
I
of
give The Last
paprika in there
Jedi
too.
over this film. It actually has a unique planet.
Well, the funny thing is, the only example I can think of that's slightly unique is fucking Canto Bite, and that's a piece of shit anyway.
that's just a town.
Yeah. I had one, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's prequels, and it's great.
Yeah, it's
So-
like
I
it
like
seems like Disney-
Scarif. I like Scarif, but it is technically terrain, isn't it? Because it's beachside. But when you add in the fact that it's surrounded by this like massive ozone layer that the Empire has made to protect their like thing, I think that's pretty cool.
It's like Disney just can't think of any other planets other than snow, desert, whatever. They can't think of their own planets.
Whereas George Lucas, you get stuff like Coruscant and Cloud City. It's really creative.
Yeah, literally a
And
planet.
Mustafar.
that
Oh,
is
Mustafar. I mean, that technically that's terrain, but still, it's pretty cool.
But it's different. It's different.
Volcano.
That's my favorite planet.
And you get
It's a great planet.
Utapau as well, which with like the massive pit. I love that fucking design. It's
Naboo?
beautiful. Huh?
It's just Naboo. It's just like there's like massive cities, but also jungles. It's a whole different bunch of stuff.
There's a whole like colonization on Naboo.
Yeah. There's politics on Naboo, and Coruscant, and all that. There's Disney. There are other planets that aren't just terrain as well. Fucking come on.
Geonosis is really obscure as well. It's really hard to pin down what that is. It's very interesting.
I'd say like ocean, maybe, but we don't know. Like,
No,
not
that-
sure.
Geonosis.
Geonosis is the is where all the bugs are.
Act
You're
3,
thinking of
Attack of the
Camino.
Clones. I think.
Oh.
You're thinking of Camino.
Oh.
Have you forgotten?
I would want to forget about Attack of the Clones as well.
I like the planets though.
Yeah, they're just in really shit films.
Oh well. Attack of the Clones is better than this film though. Anyway,
You're not wrong.
No.
moving on. We have Kessel.
I can't remember which one that is. Is that where they get all the stuff?
Kessel.
And we get all the.
That's where they do the Kessel Run.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
but
stupid.
it wasn't interesting.
Is it?
Huh? What?
Isn't that just? Is that a planet? The
Yes.
planet they get the stuff on. Is that what the planet's called?
Yes, it's called Kessel.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's where they get all the stuff, and then you get all the fembot stuff, and then they go to do the Kessel Run.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
So what do you think of it?
I think it's funny. I think it's funny to look how dumb it is. It's not funny within the actual story because it's stupid fembot stuff.
I think
they
it's
wanna make
funny
a
that
point.
she dies there and then gets ripped in half.
That's the funny part, but it's
Yeah.
not meant to be funny. They just do
Oh.
it.
It's meant to be like sad.
What's happening to me?
Oh.
Man, it's almost if you could. I love how they do this whole fucking thing where she dies. But do you guys remember? She's a robot. She could be fucking repaired.
What happens to C-3PO in Empire? What happens to R2 in every film?
That's why we talked about K2SO, because he wouldn't have been repaired by the Empire, and plus the planet destroyed. That's why we cared about his death. Fucking Disney. Can you think about these things, Disney?
R2 is off in The Force Awakens. He's not even repaired. He just turns on for no reason.
Oh, it's my turn to come back.
Imagine the Empire didn't turn up. They just got out safely and then parked. Then we would all look at Lando as if like some just weirdo that was like got really emotional over his droid turning it off when he can repair it easily, because they wouldn't have to put the bot into like the navigator, you know. So think about that. If the Empire didn't show up, Lando would just look really fucking stupid.
He already does.
Yeah, even he would look more stupid than he does in this film. It's almost as if the writers don't think.
I don't think they do, honestly.
No.
They're moving on from
Political points. Let's fuck character arcs that make sense, that aren't stupid, and consistent writing of characters that make them feel earn and going through troubles and all that. Let's just have political statements and Mary Sue's all around.
Then we've got Severine, which is a beach, I suppose.
Cool.
Doesn't look too exciting considering it's a beach.
Yeah.
And that's funny too, because with the Rogue One beach scene was very good.
Yes, Scarif. Scarif is cool. Multiple layers to it too. Like the inside of the buildings as well. But I don't have anything to fucking say about any other characters, planets, vehicles, plot, or anything. I just want to fucking move on.
They're all shit.
There we go. Okay, now interestingly, this film was written by Lawrence and Jonathan Kasdan. Jonathan Kasdan being his son. Now, interestingly, one thing I have to say about this film is the reason why Jonathan Kasdan worked on it is because Lawrence Kasdan was meant to do this film, and then they're like, hey, can you help out with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi? Because we're really struggling here, and you know stuff about Star Wars, and he's like, okay, I'll get my son to do Solo.
There you, son. Here's a little.
And then after Force Awakens ended, he came back around and said, okay, son, I'm here to join you again. Let's do this together.
They did such a fine job.
Lawrence Kasdan, known for his dialogue, not his plots. Where was George Lucas? He should have. I know fucking George Lucas is an idiot.
Home with all his money.
I know.
Yeah.
I know everyone's like, oh, George Lucas is an idiot. Prequels are shit. I'm like, yeah, but at least
He at least understood what Star Wars was.
Yeah.
At its core.
Yeah.
honestly, I reckon if George Lucas had like ironed out some of the plot and Lawrence Kasdan did more of the dialogue and cut out the prequel shit that George Lucas puts in there, this would have been probably not as bad as it is. But instead, Lawrence Kasdan's like, I'll just get my son to write it instead.
Yeah, he could do it. He's gonna up your son.
Yeah, there you go, chat. I think
Here's the little pet.
I think
No, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing. The Star Wars
yeah,
stuff
so
is
I
hard.
think the writing of this film is pretty piss poor. And there's a couple of individual moments that are like technically sound. They're like professionally made, but fuck no, the story's it's terrible.
It's so bad.
And also there's a big problem with the fact that Lawrence Kasdan clashed with the original directors, which we'll get to. Well, we've already sort of discussed already, but we'll get to that with the direction. But yeah, there's definitely a clash of styles here. It's sad that this is his final contribution to Star Wars, because he was once
Yeah, because he goes out with a fucking whimper.
Yep. When he was once the genius behind Empire's dialogue. And Return of the Jedi. So, yeah, poo-poo. Should we move on to the director?
Yep.
Okay, this film was directed by Ron Howard. However, the original directors were Phil Lloyd and Chris Miller. We've already sort of gone into this when we did the trivia section, but the truth of it is, Phil Lord and Chris Miller were hired to add a comedic touch to the film to make it charming. But then what happened was they shot it and made an actual comedy. And Lawrence Kasdan's like, no, that does not fit with my script. And Kathleen Kennedy's like, oh, this is terrible. You're fired. And then they got rid of them and got Ron Howard and reshot 70% of the film. What do I have to say about the direction? I think it's stale. I think it's lit terribly. I think I just don't want to watch it ever again.
Yeah, it's terribly lit. It's poorly edited. It's poorly. Some shots are nice, but others are terrible, and it's just not good. Not good enough. Not.
There's some good CGI, I suppose,
Good
but
enough.
the lighting's just too dark. Can't
I mean,
see it.
yeah, the monkey looks good.
I wish, like, you know, the Kessel Run. If that was lit
Yeah.
brighter and like was like really colorful, I feel like it would be really interesting to look at. But it's just so.
I find
dark.
it funny how the poster for this film is so colorful, yet this film is so dull.
Oh, it's a bit like Series 11 of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
The poster is like rainbow, and then the fucking series is. Bleh. Anthony, anything you want to say
No.
about the direction?
It's cut very oddly.
The pacing of this film as well. The pacing of this film is really
it's-
weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah, like, because there's like a climax like half an hour before the end, and I'm like, oh, is it over? Oh, no, it's not.
yeah.
Yeah, but this was, out of all the films that we've watched and, like, reviewed this year, this is one of those ones where, like, the most times I've been checking the clock on the duration. Because I'm just like, when is this fucking gonna end? Holy shit.
I kept like really putting the film off to watch it because I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Oh, I
wanna
didn't
do
watch
other
it till
stuff.
today. I didn't watch it till like a few hours ago.
Yeah. It's just like I don't want to watch it, and now oh man, I never want to watch it again.
I don't think I'm ever gonna watch this film again.
Nope.
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
Yeah, it's not interesting. It's not thought provoking. It's not engaging. It's not going to inspire me to even do better than this film.
It's just a shit
how
film,
dull
and it
it
ruins
is.
Han Solo.
Yeah, it turns him into a perfect character that doesn't have to earn anything to do right.
The music of this film was done by John Powell, but he did lift some John Williams tracks in there. Interestingly, the only music I fucking cared about was the John Williams track, because everything else was just forgettable for me.
That was the only good music I noticed.
But that was
been
in the
a while
trailer.
since
That
I
was in
heard
the
that
trailer.
one. Yeah, the original music was dull.
Yeah.
Didn't care, didn't remember.
John Powell is known for working on the scores of the Bourne films, the Ice Age films, X-Men 3, How to Train Your Dragon, and Kung Fu Panda.
Well, some of those are actually good films, so it makes me surprised. And I actually think the music in some of those films are really good. So it's very odd how he kind of like was really dull here. I guess he didn't really care or didn't have enough passion for it.
Understandable.
Yeah, because Kung Fu Panda's got a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah, because it actually knows what it's doing.
And I've only seen the first one. I've only seen the first Kung Fu Panda, and it's fucking
It's because it knows
great.
what it's doing.
Yeah. Plays to its strengths.
Whereas this
Well,
is like
he did also How to Train Your Dragon as well,
Mm.
which is also a really good trilogy.
he also did the
Probably
Ice
apart
Age
from the
films.
last one,
That's got a
right?
very iconic score.
Yeah, it's on paper. It seems like he would do a good job, but he wasn't passionate for the project, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because this film was dull. as
Anything
all hell.
else we want to say about the direction, writing, music?
Do better.
What about you, Anthony?
Don't if you're an inspiring director or anything like that, don't do this.
God, I'm fucking starving. I've already eaten 3 meals today. I'm starving. This review's taking a lot out of me. Callum, give your conclusion and a rating out of 10 for Solo.
Okay. Solo shit. 3.5 out of 10.
3.5.
Yeah.
So just above The Last Jedi.
Just. If it was like I could do every single point, it'd probably be a 3.05. But I think it's better than Last Jedi. It's like by that much because it doesn't break massive parts of the lore.
Only Han Solo, but The Last Jedi
Only
doesn't.
Han
to,
Solo.
like...
It's one character. It's one
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
fucking
big character, though.
It's
Yeah.
a big character, but it's not all of the characters.
But I would argue that
was,
The
like,
Last
huge.
Jedi ruining Luke Skywalker is worse.
It is,
that is also
absolutely.
worse.
Yeah.
And also, Chewie in this film is fine. Like, he actually has a few good moments.
I feel like it's very difficult to ruin Chewbacca.
Yeah.
We'll see with Rise of Skywalker, but
You'd think that it
Come
would be
on.
hard to not ruin a ship like the Falcon, but they fucking did it anyway.
they did. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, 3.5 out of 10, it's shit. Don't watch it.
Such a yucky score.
Skip it. Skip it.
Yucky.
Skip this film. You don't need to watch it.
Anthony.
This is the one Star Wars film I would say you don't need to watch. You can skip this one.
Yeah, I learned absolutely fucking nothing from watching it. Just learned that that Disney's even more shit than I thought they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony, you give your conclusion and a rating out of 10 for Solo.
So honestly, if you paid to watch this movie, come on, what are you doing, man? What are you doing with your money? Like, go buy a burger. That's like a better investment.
Oh, I want a burger right now. I want a burger.
Exactly. See, you don't want to watch the movie again, but you want a burger. Don't watch this movie. Spend the $20 on like a big burger meal. Beautiful. You'll love it. If you did, come on, man.
It'll
You're better
stick
than that.
longer with you than this movie would.
Yeah, and you'd feel good about it afterwards too. You wouldn't have that kind of shitty feeling. They ruined a character. My childhood again. A rock has been thrown in the window. That was my child. But yeah, it's not good. I mean, honestly, what did you expect after The Last Jedi? There's not much in either films. I still think this is like, it has a couple things over The Last Jedi, which honestly isn't hard, but it does have them. So I agree with you there, Callum. I'd probably give this like maybe a 3.
The
3
only
out of
thing I
10,
think
yeah.
Last Jedi has over this film is the variety of planets, because at least that's visually
Yeah.
interesting. But
Wasted
that
resources.
doesn't make the film better.
Yeah, but it's wasted resources,
No.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least in a sense, they tried to be creative in that aspect. When this film didn't, it was just dull.
Yeah.
It was boring.
Solo is a dud. It's plain and simple. The direction is dull. The lighting is terrible. I can't even fucking see it. The pacing's terrible. It's weird. The characterization of Han Solo is an abomination. It's a complete disgrace. The other characters I really couldn't give two shits about. It's just poor. The fan service is overbearing, but it's not even that good. The tension is 0, considering we know what happens later on. And the plot is completely nonsensical and overly subversive and just falls flat. Very, very, very little to compliment about this film, and a lot to criticize. It's just bleh, and completely unnecessary and stupid and horrible and unmemorable. And I wish I didn't watch it. Like, I honestly wish I hadn't watched this film, because now I'm even more angry. As to what rating I give it, let me just think. I got to think about other films that I've rated out of 10 this year. I've got to sort of start at like a point and then keep going down, don't I? Okay, so I gave Force Awakens a 4.5. This is worse than that. I gave The Incredible Hulk a 4. It's worse than that, weirdly. What did I give a 3.5? Did I give anything a 3.5? Can't even remember.
I can't remember what you've given a 3.5.
Can't even fucking remember. I'm trying to think, like X-Men, Spider-Man.
Did you give Apocalypse a 3.5?
No, I gave that a 2.5. What's the Origins Wolverine, I think I gave a 4.5. It's worse than that. Because at least that has like Hugh Jackman in it. Okay, let's move down slightly in my brain. So is it as bad as Apocalypse? Because I think that's the next one down. Oh, I don't know. God, that's... I feel like I'm sort of hitting the tier where it needs to be now. Like around about Apocalypse, maybe a little bit higher. Actually, honestly, I think, considering that I'm indecisive, I think I should probably say they're on par. So I'm going to give this a 2.5, on par with Apocalypse. I was thinking maybe a little bit higher, considering I really didn't give two rats' asses about Apocalypse. But then again, like, this ruins Han Solo, which is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, so it deserves some shit for that. Yeah, let's go with 2.5. Really, really not good. How about that? Are we happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
You happy now, Disney? With that all said, is there anything else we want to say before we wrap up?
I haven't got anything to say.
Anthony?
My hopes for Rise for Skywalker are lower than they were for this one was. I didn't even know that was possible, so
Yeah, well,
yeah.
in terms of these sort of Discord reviews for us, we'll be doing a certain kind of video for one of these that you'll have to stay tuned for. We're not going to reveal what that is, except... Oh, hang on, what the fuck? You would have already seen it. 2 days ago, day 17, we've still got that to do, but you guys will have seen it by now, I think. I don't know. In terms of what comes next to Star Wars, obviously the Rise of Skywalker review will be at some point. You'll have to wait for that to see when that is. So just stay tuned for that. In terms of what comes next in the Advent calendar, it is day 20. So hope you're looking forward for that one. Day 20 is a very big video on this channel. It's one of the biggest videos in the Advent calendar. It's one that I've put a lot of hard work into, or at least at this point in time, I have yet to put a lot of hard work into and hopefully succeed in doing so. Otherwise, this is going to be an embarrassing announcement. But yeah, tune in tomorrow for day 20, because that is a video that I have done a lot of work on. Oh, I forgot to go through the slideshow for the director and the music person.
Oh, well.
And they're in the wrong order as well.
This film was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all tomorrow for day 20.